Welcome to the Land Your Bets Sports Betting Show live stream. Got a couple of y'all in here already. Appreciate you bearing with me. Had to get going a little bit later than 9 today. You guys got a full day of action ahead. Maybe the last game of the year. Knicks Suns. We'll take a look at that. Also got plenty to look at with this Knicks and 76ers game. About 45, 50 minutes or so to get to that. Nice early tip for that game. I'm coming back off a small hiatus after a brutal couple of days in a row that started last week, this weekend, and end last week. So back with fresh vigor to go ahead and get into this with y'all. I'm going to be showing you guys what I got so far, but really mostly want to get into what you guys have so we can make this a show for the people. So definitely jump in the comments and drop those bets if you got them. I'm going to just keep that reminder up for now, and we'll start getting those bets up on the bottom line as well. Definitely want to make sure that you subscribe to that page. Going to be coming back moving forward with all these videos each and every night so that we can get these projections out, get some early picks and looks at that. But let's let everybody roll in here. What's good? What's good? Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Daniel. Got Leon in here. What's good, bro? Daryl always around. What's good, fam? We got Daniel coming in hot with that Hartenstein 8.5 points, right? Yeah, we could put Hartenstein on here. I have him as a likely bet for myself, but I want to make sure that I run through that with you guys. So I'm going to put Hartenstein on the upcoming stuff here. I'm going to get that stuff going on the bottom line as well so that you can see what we got coming up. But definitely want to make sure you jump in there and get some bets going. Yo, I do like Kawhi rebounds. Let me put him on here. The thing is like, I don't know what we're going to get from Kawhi now. Everything that I've seen at this point from Kawhi Leonard news is that Kawhi is just hobbling and that he's going to give it a go, but he has inflammation in his knee. So I don't know how to cap that, to be honest with you, other than to say it's a bit scary to go Kawhi, because if he does play and gives us anything, then he comes out, right? And he plays a minute and he comes out and we've got overs on him, then we're in trouble. So it's almost safer at this point to just bet unders for Kawhi, because I'm not sure what we're going to be seeing from him today. Yeah, this is a couple good looks we got coming in. I'm going to put Luka on there. I'm not sure what he's going to he's a little bit banged up. If you think that means assists more than points, I could understand that. But we got to look at some stuff for the Mav. Get a couple other things we just put in here. We got top end points coming in for that Indy game. Some interesting stuff there. Let me get the Indy game on here. We'll put Obi topping on there. Right, I'm gonna get this going right here. We're gonna do Indy and Milwaukee, and we're gonna put Obi on there. We gotta put Chris Middleton on there. Obi rebounds was a great hit last game. We'll put Chris on there, Middleton, and we'll put his points. See what we like with that. I'm going to be using the really basic version of a model as well to make sure that we can calculate our odds a little bit better and make sure that we know if we're getting good value from these bets from the book. So I don't want to just be looking at them and eye testing them anymore with you guys. I might take a little bit more time just to make sure that we got the numbers right when we prepare these odds. All right, putting a couple more in here. We got Hartenstein as a bet that people want to look at. So let me put in this this Clippers game for y'all. We got LAC and Dallas, and we're gonna put in well, I got Kawhi on here already. I know we want to talk about Zubac. He's got a bunch of, I think his rebound prop's still pretty high. And the thing I really want to do here is bet on Norm Powell, to be honest with you. And I don't have Norm Powell props because I got to wait on Kawhi to just be not a game time decision at this point, because we don't know exactly what's going to happen with him. So I'm adding Zubac as well. Make sure you jump in there. Let me know what you got. We got Josh Hart coming in from Mozzie. I'm putting him on here for you, bro. Got Jay Hart on this one. I mean, Hart threes was a really good look last game still. Like, when does it stop? When does Josh Hart stop making all these threes? I don't have a good answer for you. He might not stop making all these threes. So I'll put him in here. We could put Maxey assist. I was looking at Maxey assist too, Mozzie. That might be a good look. I know you, or I'm sorry, that's Rockstar talking about Maxey assists. Let me put that in here. It's a bit high now. I got to put that through like I said, just to run the numbers real quick on the odds to make sure we're not missing that. But definitely got some stuff scrolling on the bottom line for what we got coming up. Maxey first quarter points could be a look. I thought Joel was the look last game for the first quarter stuff. And then obviously we know how that turned out because he got fouled. I think that's the quarter that he grabbed Mitchell Robinson's leg like he was playing WWE over there. So we got Zubac boards, we got Kawhi rebounds, we got the other one. Yeah, we got Joel. I'm gonna put Maxey first quarter as well. We'll look at his first quarter stuff and his assists. I got that both in here for this Knicks game. Obviously, we're going to go through the Knicks game first. So if you do have Knicks bets, let's make sure we get those in. Hallie PRA, appreciate you, Aramis. We got a Lowry look here. Yeah, Lowry's always a good look now that he's getting all these minutes. Let me add him to this one real quick. We got full game for Maxey. Let me get Kyle Lowry, big booty Lowry in here. We can look at his points. All right. Grabbing a couple more before I get in here. Mozzie took Rudy over on the points. I could see that. Rudy's his boards prop stay so high. Put Phoenix and Minnesota. Get some of those bets in. We'll look at Rudy Gobert and his points. We should look at his PR too, right? Look at those rebounds because they're always there. This is what we got coming up. I didn't put Hallie assists in there. That's a good call. The thing about Hallie assists is there's two ways of looking at Halliburton for me this game. One is he just going to kind of play it cool and get those dimes and try to get his others involved because he knows that this team is probably ripe to beat down on this Dameless Bucks squad. Although even without Dame, Dame was hobbled all game last game after getting injured in the first quarter. And then we still saw that team come by on the strength of Chris Middleton playing out of his body. So I'm not sure how much we want to rely on that. But I got that in here. I'll put Mike Conley in here from Mozzie as well as we get into that Minnesota and Phoenix game. Put Conley assists on here. I think that's probably a good look. I mean, I like Conley to get the points when they go low, but they're a little bit low now. We'll look at Hallie everything as well. From Will C wants to talk about the first quarter for Halliburton. So let me make sure I at least acknowledge that we got Halliburton assists. I'm going to get some Hallie first quarter bets looking at that as well. Saving that stuff. Still checking in on these comments. Ooh, Embiid under steals. You don't see that very often. You usually see, OG steals. Interesting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I rarely play steals bets, but we can look at the numbers. I know there's a lot of at least like recent numbers that we could look at. Yeah, it's fair. So the thing about last game was Embiid went under last game and Maxey went over, and Embiid a little bit banged up. But yeah, I mean, under 34.5 points, probably a good look. I mean, the thing is, he only needed 14 field goals last game to get all his stuff. So Drew Billions, I got Kyle Lowry in here, so I'm going to keep him on the banner. So everything scrolling on the bottom is what we're about to look at. And then I'll make sure we add bets up there as well, so you know what we're taking a look at. All right, but I'm gonna start sharing my screen and jumping into some stuff with you guys for this Knicks game. And we'll get into it. All right, I'm gonna pull up. This is the other thing I want to make sure you guys know is that I'm gonna be having this prop finder tool up. Now that I got a few in here too, I'm actually pretty excited to announce something real quick. I use props.cash every day on this channel, and now I got props.cash as a partner. So if you do not yet have an account with them and you do want one, it's a good time to get it, and you could test it out. So you can do this monthly. You can do a yearly deal or a monthly deal. I would suggest do the yearly deal right now for the NBA if you want it. Use the code LYB24 and you can go ahead and get 25% off that first month. So take about $5 off or so for the first month that you would use this product. It's about $20 a month, but you see me using it every day that we do this live stream as sort of like my homepage. So I figured I might as well just get into it and see if I can get some other people who might want to use the platform a bit of money off, because this thing has been super helpful. And if you want to support the show, obviously this is the first and best way to do it right now. Obviously, like, subscribe, watch all the stuff. But if you use this code, go ahead and do that. Supports the show. And most importantly, you get a little bit of time off. So let's look at this Sixers game. What's up, Mike? We got you in here. I'm excited to have Mike's rants on the screen. Let me get into this Knicks game here. I'll go ahead and start sharing this. We can look at what we got here. All right. Got the Knickerbockers right here. Get into my screen so it makes sense and start presenting this to y'all. So we can start with some props.cash. But like I said, what you're also going to see on here is the most basic version of this model, so that we can make sure that we're looking at things and using a little bit of an anchor with these numbers, right? I don't want to just be going eye test with you guys as I have been so I can get through more stuff. I want to do a little bit of due diligence by putting stuff into the very, very simple model, as I keep saying. So this is what it's going to look like. It'll just be me adding these bets. So the first, we'll start with one of these bets we got for the Knicks game. So first one was Hartenstein. So I'm gonna pull up Hartenstein 8.5 points because I know that was the request. It's 7.5 boards, looks like, and you could still get about -115 on the over for 7.5 boards, and then you can get on the points here -112. Looks like the best number. You can get -108 actually on DraftKings as well for the over 8.5 points for Hartenstein. So what we want to look at with Hart real quick is we probably aren't going to have much of, if any, of Mitchell Robinson, right? So I think one of the first things, if we're looking at points, which was the request, Let me zoom in on this a little bit so hopefully y'all can see it a little bit better. Let me zoom out one more. So what we want to look at is without Mitch Robs. Let's take Mitchell Robinson out for a minute and just assume that he's either playing very limited minutes or not playing at all, right? Still a game time decision. So in this season, let's look at the whole season without Mitchell Robinson. He's played 45 games at about 8.5 points, going over 40% of the time. So not a great start for taking it over for Hartenstein. If we look at his head-to-head stuff, also hasn't been great without Mitch Rob against this team this season. Over in January without him, and then under in March. But also, you look at the minutes real quick. So the minutes in March and February of this year, he was hurt and he was coming back from injury. It was Hartenstein. So they slowly played him back into the rotation with his normal minutes, meaning that right here, I don't think we believe in this 23.5 minutes. I think it's likely that we see a lot more of what we saw last game for him, which was what did we get last game? 26, 30. So I think 28 minutes or so is probably a pretty good projection for Hartenstein. Maybe you bump him up to 30 to 32 because of the fact that we don't have Mitch Rob in here. So I'll put him real quick without Mitch Rob on the season. If I take Mitch Rob out again and I look at on the season versus Philly, sorry, just on the season in general, his minutes are 28.5, right? Yeah. So I think we put him at 28 to 30 minutes. I think that's a fair assumption for him. We'll probably see some Precious Achua minutes in here if we don't have Mitch Rob, but let's put him at 30 minutes. So we'll filter this up to about 30 and see what that does for his. If he plays 30 minutes, the points now, it's a little bit better, but you can see it's still not great. The field goal attempts, if he plays at least 30 minutes without Mitchell Robinson, still only at about 5.6, right? And if we look in this series so far, with or without Mitch Rob, even if we don't look at that. So head-to-head, he's played these 3 games, right? 2-1, 14 and 14. The first game was the one that Mitchell Robinson got tons of minutes. The last 2 games, he's averaged 12 and 8 field goal attempts. So if we put him at 8 field goal attempts, which I think is fair, then we still need him to hit more than 4, right? We need him to hit at a better than 50% clip. And he's been hitting at a 69% clip. Nice. So that's at least helpful to kind of bump up the idea that he's going to go over. Is if he does take, let's say he takes 8 shots and he does hit better than 50%, we're looking at a pretty good number here. The stuff I like about Hartenstein is he's been the roll man big time, and that's been working because we've seen that work against the Sixers and the way that let me look at some stuff on Props Madness real quick if there's anything to this. But my thinking here as I watch these games is that Hartenstein is getting some pretty good attempts because they really are trying to make sure that on the pick and roll, right, where they're trying to make sure that Jalen Brunson doesn't get easy shots. And that's where the center and everybody is really focused on Jalen Brunson, right? So let me see. What I want to look at is the roll man stuff. You can see for Hartenstein, he is the roll man pretty consistently or cutting to the basket. And this Sixers team is pretty good against the roll man unless they're really focused on stopping the pick and roll ball handler, obviously. Their defense has actually been a bit worse right around the rim, and you see Hartenstein taking most of his shots down there. 76% of his shots are taken down by right inside of 5 feet. So this is a really good tool, propsmadness.com. All the tools you see me using today, links are in the description of the video. Make sure you check those out. This is really helpful because I usually like to go to traditional stats on NBA and see what this stuff tells me, but Pips, shout him out, did a great job with Props Madness to help us see player shot charts versus defense shot chart, as well as the play type, right? And so we know that like Hartenstein's getting a lot of his stuff rolling to the rim, cutting to the basket, or getting putbacks. So it's, Philly's a tough defense for him, but he's been getting the shots up. So let me throw him into the player prop tool real quick. So I'm going to put Hartenstein in here, and this is just going to help us with the odds to see if there's anything worth it. So it's going to be 8.5 points. The line is minus 108 for the over. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. So we're just doing points here. Points in the prop line, and we're putting 8.5 as the line. Under odds are minus 120. Over odds are minus 108. We're going to put him at a minute. So on the season, right, we got to just do on the season here just as a whole. This is the most data that we have on the season, and I'll even do it without Mitch Rob just to help us a little bit. On the season, the minutes are 28.5. So I'm going to put that in for the minutes average. And I'm going to make this available to y'all on the Discord as well. So if you're not yet in the Discord, jump into that link in the description. But I'm going to be doing this to make sure that we get these right numbers. So prop average when he plays 28.5 minutes without Mitch Rob this season, he's looking at 8.4 points per game, right? All right, 8.4, which means that's about his points per minute. Projected minutes in this game, we're going to give him 30 and see what that does for us. So obviously that's going to bump him up a little bit. The prop under, so this is where I need to just get my odds straight. and I usually know how to do this off bat, but the odds, you want to turn these from American odds into implied odds. So I'm just here on Action Network. This is also in the description of the video, the link to this odds calculator, but you can use any odds calculator you want. They're all going to be fine here. So the odds at minus 108, right? That's what we said was the over. So minus 108 odds is an implied of about 52%. So I'm going to put 52% for the book over implied odds, and the book under implied odds are minus 120. So I'll put that in here. And that is going to be a 55% chance of happening as we round up. So 55% to the under, 52% to the over likelihood here with the minutes and everything. So you can see right now, there's not much of an edge here. This says 1.5% is the edge to the over. Let me see if I can zoom in on this for y'all a little bit. So with that in mind, like 150, we need this edge to be at 10 or better for us to take this bet, basically. So if there's no edge according to the odds and according to his projections and minutes, etc., then yeah, we're not necessarily looking at a good play here for Hardenstein on the points. I think I understand the desire to do that because we all like to use things like props.cash and we see a lot of green, and then we think, okay, well, if he's done it recently, then we need to go over. And he's gotten 14 in the last 2 games, taking 12 and 8 shots, but that's not what the data on the whole season, which is a much larger and dependable sample size. It's not what it tells us, right? So that's going to be a pass for me on Hartenstein, even though there's a couple other things in here that could be helpful to bump us over. It's not like this is going to be gospel, and no matter what, if this says no, then we don't do it. If it says yes, then we do it. It's not quite that black and white, but it's at least helpful to make sure that if we did take this bet, we're not getting dicked on the odds. You know what I mean? So, all right, we're passing on that. I just want to look at the rebounds for him real quick. The rebounds are 7.5. That's tough. Now, without Mitchell Robinson, this is something he does a lot more. 10 rebounds a game, going over 69% of the time. Nice. So we'll put him about 10 boards per game in these 28.5 minutes. So that might be a little bit better of a prop. So I'm going to make this rebounds for him, and I'm going to make this 7.5. The odds for him to go over, right? Best odds we got on the rebounds is minus 115 on FanDuel or minus 104 to the under, or you can get plus 105 to the under as well if you want to take that at 7.5. So I'll put that in there since we can line shop. So minus 115 right here. I'm sorry, the under odds are 105 plus 105. The under odds, I'm sorry, yeah, this is over odds. Over odds are minus 115. All right. And if we look at the minutes average, we still got this in here. The prop average is 9.9, however, and we're projecting him for 30 minutes, right? So with the odds, what they are, plus 105. If we got 105 odds, the implied odds are 49%, which isn't great. So that's for the, sorry, going back to my thing here. The implied odds for plus 105 are for the under. So that is 48%. And the book prop over is minus 115. So that is going to be minus 115. That's a 53% chance at minus 115. So I'm going to put that in here. The implied odds are 53%. And what does that do? Why are you not computing? Oh, because I put this in the wrong spot. All right, putting that up here. Now the implied odds are, why are you not working again? Book under. Why wouldn't this be working? All right, my bad. Hold on. Let me make this 48 up here and make this 53. So the edge is to the over on the rebounds big time because we get the minus 115. So the book prop under is a lot less likely. You don't necessarily want to take that, but the over is at 34% edge. Let's see if we like that enough. The 34% edge, I want to look at rebound chances for our guy real quick. So once we see a 34% edge, though, now we're like, ooh, this is something. I'm going to look at his rebound chances by going into tracking data and pulling up rebounding, and I'm going to make this the playoff. So right now I'm in NBA advanced stats because I want to look at the rebound chances for Isaiah Hartenstein to see if there's anything there for that. So I'm going to filter this to just the Knicks real quick, make this team NYK. And if I look at how they've done in the playoffs, rebound chances, Josh Hart is still at 21. Isaiah's at 10, right? And that's in 24.5 minutes. So that's a rebound chance like every 2.5 minutes. So we still give him about 2 more rebound chances, maybe 3. Put him at 13 to get 8. Still a little bit tough here. I mean, he's still got a pretty good rebound chance percentage. Probably looking at right on the edge for me. And I think that's a pass for the rebounds for Hartenstein, just because, once again, he's right on the edge of everything we just talked about. Even with the over being at 34%, I don't know if he's going to get the same amount of rebound chances against this particular team, which is very good at limiting rebounds, as we know. Let me pull up Courtside Pal just to kind of prove my point, and it might be a stay away from me for the rebounds for Hartenstein. So if I put in Hartenstein inside courtside pal, which is a really helpful tool for seeing team defense versus player profile, as opposed to just player position, which doesn't really help too much if like the positions aren't always, it doesn't necessarily mean that that all these players play the same, it just means that that's their position. So I'm looking at rebounds against this Philly team. So I'm going to his rebound profile, and I'm making it the rebounds here. And if we look against Philly, they are going to be the basically like 7th best team, 6th best team at limiting the rebounds to opposing centers and opposing players like Isaiah Hartenstein when Joel Embiid is out there. They're just kind of boxing each other out, and that kind of scares me for the rebound chances being low. And the fact that this Philly team is so good at limiting rebounds to centers, I'm going to pass on Hartenstein for everything, which sucks because I usually like betting on Hartenstein as much as I can. I think he gets a raw deal at times, but I'm going to put this pass sign on his points and his rebounds for right now because that's not a bet that I really like. But Josh Hart, on the other hand, we wanted to look at Josh Hart pretty much everything. So let me pull up Jay Hart real quick and look at some of his stuff. The threes, I think we're at 2.5 finally for Josh Hart, I believe, for the threes rather. Rebounds at 11.5. He's done that in the first 2. In this last one, he did not do it as much, right? And Philly shooting improved. That's a part of it. But 6 boards. And he's still at 11.5 boards when I understand he's been doing that hella. But let me go into the game log of this last game real quick and go to NBA.com just to pull up the actual box score of this last game. Because inside the box score, I can see how he did, specifically like tracking data and stuff like that for this particular game. So if I go to game recap and pull up this box score in this one, I'm going to pull up player tracking data instead of traditional. So I'm inside the box score and I change traditional to player tracking. The rebound chances were at just 13 for him this last game, even though he played those 43 minutes. That's crazy. That's a lot. So that's not a lot is what I'm trying to say here in terms of the rebound chances for Mr. Hart. That's kind of terrifying. Nobody really had rebound chances in this game. As you can see, they were split pretty evenly. And Hartenstein, what I was saying, like 6 in this last game is also kind of terrifying. I want to look at the shooting for this Philly team. So their effective field goal percentage was 65%, bro. That is a huge reason for all these rebounds being down. They did not miss any shots, dude. 65% would have been far and away the best effective field goal percentage on the season over the course of a year, because that is like the top effective field goal percentage on the season was the Indiana Pacers at 57%. So that is a big, like a really incredible shooting game for Philly. As you can see, their actual splits were 55% from the field, 48% from deep, and they only missed 5 free throws. So that's why there wasn't very many rebound chances in general for that team. And the Knicks, they still shot well, but you can see there was a lot more rebounds to go around for the 76ers. In fact, not even that many, to be honest with you. The only person that went over their rebounds right here was Kelly Oubre. So I don't know. The rebounds for Jay Hart are a little bit scary. The threes, he's still taking. He took 8 this last game. I want to look at that real quick. Is it 2.5? You can still get 1.5, but it's juiced all the way down to minus 150. Who's, for a dude, has just been feeling it. But at what point does that like come back down to earth, right? On the season, making 1.1 per game. And even if we put him, he's already playing, like put him at 43 minutes, because that seems to be his floor for Josh Hart. 43 minutes. We look at the threes, it still doesn't help that much. It's still a 50% hit rate, still at 1.7, even against this team. So he's played them this much in the playoffs. He made 2 once. It's a pass from me based on, I know he's going to be taking a bit more than we might expect. Even if he takes 7 to 8, he needs 2. That's fine. Is he going to take that many? Because the other thing about Josh Hart is once he hits the first one, then he's just going to keep pulling them. So I'm a little bit scared of the Hart, honestly, the threes there. Yeah, I'm with you on Mitch Rob is officially ruled out. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Let me look at Lowry real quick, because there was some talk about that. There was nothing for me with the edge there for the rebounds for Hartenstein or the points, to be honest. They both were just like right on the cusp. The points were, the rebounds were a slightly better look for Hartenstein. What were his assists at, if you wanted to add that? I don't know that that's going to be super helpful either. I don't like having to rely on centers to get rebounds. Did they start moving some? Yeah, I guess his props got taken down for a second just because we got Mitch Rob out now. So Josh Hart rebound. Yeah, Mitch Rob was only seeing about 17 minutes, but yeah, if we're in this spot, then yeah, I'm just gonna move on to Kyle Lowry. I don't have anything for Jay Hart. I don't want to have to bank on the threes. If he hits the first one, he's probably good to go. But I just want to finish the point here on this is the rebounds prop for Hartenstein. It is a 34% edge to the over according to what he did on the season when he got this many minutes. It's just playing against this team, and is Philly going to come out shooting like that again? Probably not. The rebounds still seem like a decent play. But minus 115 to the over, plus 105 to the under for him. It's right on the line with Hart and Steen. If he's busy boxing out Joel, then this is a terrifying line to me. He only had 7 rebound chances last game, 26 minutes. Yeah, I'm moving on to Kyle Lowry. All right, Kyle Lowry. How's he been doing since the last time I looked at him, which is probably like a couple games ago now? For Kyle, we were looking at his points and assists, right? Sheesh, going over. Loves playing the Knicks, as you can see. Only time he went under was a game I'm pretty sure I took him over against the Knicks. On the season, right? He's at 12.4, but he's played probably about 30 games with Philly, right? So 30, he's gone over just over half the time, 12 points and assists combined. And that's in 28.8 minutes. Now in this series, he's been averaging 30 to 38 and a half minutes. And his minutes have been going down though as well. So I think we got to put him at 30 minutes, which is about his season average, which doesn't really help us too much. So let me bump this up to 30 minutes as the minimum for Kyle Lowry. And then we see, head to head, he loves playing this team. On the season when he plays this many minutes, in the last 30, since it's 24 of 30 when he plays 30 plus minutes. 16 is the average. Feels pretty good, bro. Let's see what let's put his numbers into the basic model real quick. I'm gonna go here. Let me do this. I'm just gonna X out all this to make sure I'm still getting my numbers right. So I'm gonna put Kyle Lowry in here. We got Lowry, PA. We're going 10.5. Under odds are minus 113, I believe, is what it said. The best under odds you can get are minus 110 on DraftKings. It's 110 both ways. So yeah, a little bit of a vig. Minus 110 on the under, minus 110 on the over. Minutes average, we'll put him at 30. This is a 29.5 rather, because this is well on the season. We're doing the last 30 games as our use sample, right? So last 30 games, he's gone he's averaging 16 points and assists exactly, and he's playing and this is when he plays at least 30 minutes. So I'm going to say in this point, his average here was 29 minutes. So I'm going to project him. Prop average is 16 in 29 and a half minutes, and we're projecting him for 30. Whoops. Okay, I lost my formula. Hold up real quick. Let me take this out. Command X this. Hold up real quick. I'm going to delete these. Delete that, because I lost my formula. We're going Lowry. We're doing PA. We got this at 10.5. Under is minus 110. Over is minus 110. Minutes average is 29.5. Prop average is 16. That's that many a minute. Projecting him for 30 tonight. Damn it. 30 right here. And then the prop under. So the prop over is pretty high. If we do this at minus 110 and we take the implied odds of minus 110, it's 52%. So I'm going to put 52% in here for both of these. 52. So that does give us a nice edge to the over. I think that is a pretty good play for Kyle Lowry on the points and assists. I just want to see one more thing for his potential assists. Has he been diming or more shooting? So in this series, he's at 6, 9, and 5 potential assists, it looks like. Let me do head-to-head real quick. Head-to-head. Yeah, so in these 3 games, he's at potential assist-wise, he's looking at 6, 9, and 6. So I think the assists, putting him right at about 3 makes sense. The amount of field goals he's taken, 9, 6, and 5 with that number dropping, and we're still at 10.5. I don't like that things are dropping for Kyle and that he's not taking quite the same amount of volume, to be honest. But he's doing one of these things pretty consistently. 2, 3, and 4. And his assist prop alone is at, and this just takes away everything, but whatever. It's at 2.5, right? So that is why it's kind of low. And if you add it to the points and still get pretty good juice at 10.5, I think that's a pretty good number. So yeah, I think Kyle Lowry is a pretty good bet there for the points and assists over. But yeah, I'm going to add that to the bottom line. I'm going to pass on Josh Hart as well. That's going to be scrolling there. I hope I had that scrolling. My bad, y'all. And then I am going to take Kyle Lowry PA, although, yeah, because I want them both in there. Over 10.5. PA because we're still getting good usage from him, and we're still getting him super involved in the offense. So I got that. We can try, Carlos, to fade Tobias. His stuff keeps going down. We're on a no for the. I passed Mozzie on the Hartenstein points. If I was going to play an over for anything on Hartenstein, it would be for the rebounds before the points. To be honest with you, just because without Mitch Rob, we might get a bit more, and without Mitch Rob this season, he was much better. So with the minutes that we expect now, if Kyle Lowry's minutes keep dropping, we're in trouble. But I do think he's good for the 30, so we'll be good with that. I'm gonna put him in there. Make sure I have that scrolling on the bottom line for him to be going over the 10.5 PA. I'm going to put the green check on it. So if you see a green check next to the bet, it's a go. If you see the pass emoji, the hand emoji, that's a pass. That's going to be all scrolling on the bottom line. I got to look at Maxey now for y'all and the first quarter stuff. That's interesting. I think the assists too were interesting, but it was a pass for me on the assists, even though it's even money for the assist right there. Let's look at the first quarter points, because I know you guys were talking about that. It still scares me a bit for the points. Now I know he's gone over this last one. He was at 5.5 for plus money, and he mostly got over after a bad start because Joel didn't play the whole first quarter because he got into foul trouble and was he was in foul trouble, right? He had 2 fouls in the first quarter, so he only got 6 points, and then Maxey kind of took over. So we have him at 12 minutes last game. It's just not like we can guarantee the 12 minutes for him. He was the dude coming out first. And I think the only reason he played 12 in this last first quarter is because Joel was with the fouls, right? Now, the 6.5 means he's taking 5, 5, and 6. If we need him to get 7 points, we need him to make more than 3 of these 5. We need to make 4 of 5 or 6. The threes for him, he has made a 3 in each game of this series, as you can see in the first quarter, which is at least helpful. And he's pulling 3 a game there. So it's the first quarter stuff is a little bit scary for me with Maxey and both these teams, honestly, the way that these games have gone lately, a bit sporadic in the first quarter. I know that's a lot of green for him against this squad. Let's look on the season in general. So on the season, he's averaging 6, right? And he's averaging 9.5 minutes in the first quarter. That's what I have him projected at. So I can already tell you before I even put it in the model that this is not going to give us an edge either way at minus 110 or anything like that, even minus 102 to the under. Like, I don't see it for Maxey in the first quarter, mostly because this has been Joel's quarter until he got the fouls last game. And it was just like a bad game, honestly. It was just a rough first quarter where he got all those fouls. But on the season, Joel is averaging 11 points per game in the first, and he's averaging 11.5 minutes. So like Maxey's the dude who comes out first in the first quarter. Embiid starts the second quarter usually on the bench with Maxey taking over the offense. So with that in mind, that makes everything a little bit more terrifying. You know what I mean? With Maxey, like the averages aren't there. Now, I know that he's done this a couple of times in the last game. It looked really good. But it's a pass for me on the first quarter stuff from Maxey, just because of, like I said, like on the season, the play has been Embiid plays the whole first quarter, Maxey does not. I don't think there's a problem with going back to Embiid first quarter bet, honestly. Like the injury, if anything, I know some people were talking about Embiid being hurt and that being the reason that we don't want to take him. But my thing with that is like it was just the fouls, bro. Like it was just the fouls for Embiid last game. So let me put Embiid here and show you what I mean, because I know there's going to be a slight edge to this. If we put him at 11, let's put 11 minutes in the first quarter. And once again, the only reason I don't think he'd play is because of the whole first quarter is because of the fouls. And I don't think we have to worry about that as much. So for Joel in first quarter, if he averages 11.2 in 11.5 minutes in the first quarter, and we got this at minus 110 both ways that we can get it. We can take this is the whole game, my bad. So I want to make sure I'm not messing this up for Joel, because sometimes it struggles to pull it through. Let me just go to DraftKings real quick to pull up the exact prop, make sure I'm not missing, like make sure this is pulling through correctly. So I'm going to Joel points, and I'm going to first quarter all the way at the bottom here. And first quarter points for JoJo 9.5. And Maxey is 5.5. Okay, so this is not pulling through correctly. Maxey at 5.5 is a big freaking difference than 6.5, like a huge difference for that. So what's good, Yoshio? Good to see you, bro. Yeah. Maxey, yeah, you're right about that. It's 5.5 on FanDuel and on DraftKings. So 5.5 at minus 115 for Maxey. When on the season, I'm starting to like Maxey a little bit more. The Joel stuff at 9.5, even if it's at 9.5, right? And he's averaging 11.2 on the season in those 11.4 minutes. Let's put that in for Joel real quick, because I think that's almost like a comeback bet. for him. But he's at 9.5. I keep forgetting that. He's not at 8.5. And it's minus 125. So that edge is a little bit gone for me. Let me just try it real quick. Let me do Joel, and we're doing points, and that's first quarter, and it's at 9.5. Yo, can you look up the real quick free sauce if you're on? Look, talking about you already told me. Look, that's Maxey. What's Joel on FanDuel? I can just pull it up too real quick. But if anybody has that, we can throw it in because we got 20 minutes till start for this Knicks game. Which, by the way, can we just get this Knicks win and just like not worry about it moving forward? That'd be sick. But I don't know. It feels like it's going back 2-2. Points first quarter for Joel. First quarter JoJo points. Where you at, Joel? This is alt points. Why can't I get his first quarter stuff? There we go. 9.5 minus 138. Yeah, okay. So I'll use the minus 125. Under odds is going to be minus. What do we say here? My bad. Minus plus 105 for the under. So we got to keep that in mind. So 105 for the under, minus 110 for the over 9.5. Or it's minus 125 rather. My bad. Minus 125. Minutes average will put him at 11.4. Prop average. Oh no, the minutes average. Yeah, and the prop average is also 11.4. Was that what it was? Looking at his stuff on props.cash in the first quarter, 11.2. So 11.2 here, adding that to the thing, 11.2 prop average. So he's getting about a point a minute. If we expect him to play, let's put him at just 11. We'll put him at 11.5 once again, right? That's going to mean the over has a way higher probability. The under odds at 105 are going to be about 48%. And the over odds at minus 125. Let me put that in here. So I'm on the I'm using this odds calculator on Action, and the implied odds for him to go over with minus 125 means it's about 56%. So 56% with those odds, 56 does give us an edge of about 12%. I always say we need 10% edge to get there, and at the juice of return here, 56%, it's still a good bet for him to take that amount. So, yeah, minus 138 is crazy. That's going to lose all that edge right there. I'll show you what I mean. If I put this at minus 138 and keep everything the same, minus 138 is going to be a implied odds of 58%, right? So 58% is the implied success rate here. 58, and see, now that drops us below the 10%, though. Minus 138, even with that good of implied odds, we're not getting enough back on our money for this to be worth it at this point, right? Because the book is, while the implied odds are 58% according to the book, according to our math and projections, there's a 63% chance that it happens, but they're not giving us enough juice back for that to be worth it. So we're not. I'm gonna pass on the first quarter stuff for both of them, but I think the other thing was Maxey assists real quick. And if I was going to hit anything, I should be looking at it for Maxey. You're right about that. I'm going to do Maxey points, first quarter points. I'm going to look at them at 5.5. We got that at, what was the number for Maxey first quarter? Minus 115. I still think that's good. Let's look at Maxey if there's anything there for the implied odds for Maxey to see if that's worth it. The under odds for Maxey was minus 105. The over is minus 115. All right, stay with me. Under is minus 105. Over is minus 115. Minutes average, though, we got to put him at 9.5. That's the thing. And he's averaging 6 in those 9.5 minutes in the first quarter, right? Projected minutes scares me to give him more than I know he played 12 last game, but that's because Joel messed up the rotations with his injury. Like, I think we really got to believe in that. So I'll put him at 10 to give us like a little bit more of an edge in case he does go over the minutes there. But the implied under odds at minus 105 are like 50%, I believe. Minus 105 is 51%. So that's the implied success rate right here for him, 51%. And the book prop over is going to be minus 115 is what we said, right? Minus 115 is going to be 53% still, not quite to 54%. So we'll give him 53% right here. And that's about a 14% edge. So I do believe in that a little bit more because, I mean, I know we give him 10 minutes here. If he plays 9.5, he's right at that number. He needs to make 3 shots, and he's taking 5 to 6. So I'm fine with that as long as if he hits a 3, we're in really good position. If he gets to the free throw line for 2, we're in really good position. So I think Maxey is the better over first quarter bet. But of course, last game I kind of fucked that up, and we messed it up. So yeah, I think I think that Maxey is the better play here if you want him for the first quarter stuff. So I'll at least put Maxey first quarter on the bottom line. So that's obvious for you guys. If you are new, jump into the comments. Let me know if you got a bet. We'll keep going over it. I'm going to keep going through these games. I know the Knicks game is going to start, but I want to. I took about a day and a half off, so I owe a good amount of live stream for y'all. So I'm not going to stop just because I missed some bets. I'm going to try to get to every single one that you guys have. So I'm going to take Maxey on the first quarter points. For the assist for Maxey, it's just a bit high. If you look at the assist for Maxey, I'll make it full game. Let me support myself for a minute. Put Maxey over first quarter points in here, over 5.5. Over 5 points. I think that's the better look for the first quarter points. And that's just with the numbers in general. That's what we like. So I'm gonna put the green check next to Maxey on the bottom line. I got Kyle Lowry in there. I'm gonna look at the assists real quick for Maxey because I know some people want to talk about that. And we could see that. He's still a game time decision, street cred, so we're not positive about that. But keep that in mind. I got one more coming in from Curtis Johnson for Brunson as well. Let me just put him on the upcoming right quick. I'll put JB in here. I mean, Brunson was cold last game, obviously. He's at 30.5 points. Did he turn a corner and start? Because he was just, honestly, bro, he was just missing shots straight up. And I do like the over again in this game as a result of all that. Let me look at Tyrese on the over 6.5 right here. All right, it's even money, right? You can get even plus 102 on DK. Let me make sure that's pulling through correctly. Let me go to assist for Tyrese. On DraftKings, we're on player assists, and for over 6.5 is plus 110 now. And Kyle got bumped up to 3.5. Now I do like an over, so I'm not too scared of points, but like the potential assists aren't quite there for Maxey. So just looking at head to head, so we can see these last couple games, he's averaging about 43 minutes a game, right? And we look at the potential assists. They're still at 10.7 on the series. We got 26-35, so they're still at about 10.5. For him, that's about his average. 10.5 potential assists to get 7 dimes on the season. He's at 6.2 in 38 minutes per game, right? So let's just say, let's use those numbers real quick. So it's plus 105, or plus 110, sorry, for the over, and minus 130 for the under. Those are the odds I'm going to use. So we got Maxey assists. We got that line at 6.5. On the season, under odds are minus 130. Over odds are 110. Minutes average on the season is 38. The prop average is 6.2. And the projected minutes in this game are going to be 42, right? 42 minutes. All right. The implied odds at plus 110 are not going to be good. I can tell you that right now. The implied odds at plus 110 are 48%. A little better than I thought. For the over is 48%. For the under at minus 130 is going to be much higher implied success rate. Minus 130 is a 57% success rate, or implied success rate here. So 57% to the under. That gives us an edge to the over of about 12%. But like I said, do you really think, now let me just look at courtside pal real quick and see how often they're giving up assists, right? Tyrese, Maxey, because now I'm using courtside pal to see, is there anything else that can help me bring this edge up a little bit on the over? Like, do the Knicks give up a ton of assists to like his playmaking profile? And the answer is obviously no, because the Knicks are a very good defense. 19th, so they're giving up about the 11th fewest assists to dude on the season. If you look at the head-to-head stuff on the season before this series, like 4 in the first game, all these, let me put with Embiid in here too, so that we know that Joel's playing. It says Joel's a game time decision, but he's probably a go. So with Joel, it's a lot more likely, obviously, and this is in 37 minutes. So he's climbed over that, but that potential assist to assist rate is really high. So 9 to get 7, 16 in this game to get 10, and then the first game, 10 potentials to get 4. And I think 10 to get like 5 or 6 is a lot more likely of what we're going to see, because his normal potential assist versus this team with Joel even in there this season anyway. So let's keep it to this season, because last season was with Harden, 21, 37, 46 over 4 games. It's about 10, right? You got to put him at about 10 potential assists. For him to get 7 assists on 10 potentials is a no for me. With the way that all this stuff combined, like this edge right here of 12% for him to go over, according to the very, very basic model. But now I'm injecting my other stats in here to see what I think, right? Now, a really good model would take all the stuff I just looked at. It would take the courtside pal information. It would take the potential assists for him. It would take all this math that I just did and taking Embiid's into consideration. It would take all that and it would automatically just implement it in here. But all I have right here is a straight math of what this is telling me based on his projected minutes, his projected what he's done in the season, and all that stuff. This is just telling me, and I'm using that it's close to an edge at 11-12%, and I'm going down because of the fact that, like, I don't like this matchup for him against the Knicks. I don't think that's a good look. So I'm out on the assist for Tyrese. I know the over gives you a little bit better juice, but I'm good. We got Joe in the house. What's good, bro? It has been, bro, it's been an okay April. Honestly, it's been okay for me. I'm sorry to hear if you're having some troubles. I'm not trying to rub it in. But the reason I'm saying that is I just want to bring up the bet tracking real quick, just to be clear. I don't want to seem like I'm trying to bamboozle y'all at all. So I just want to be clear. Like, this was terrible. Friday was awful. Look at all these losses on Thursday. We are in April now. I'm still only $79. That's on the week, actually. In April, this is just pretending a unit is $100. So this is still up in April, about 1.57, but we got some work to do. And we had to climb out of a hole for a while too. But all right, I'm gonna keep it going. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't trying to bamboozle y'all here. I was struggling for a bit, so we're gonna get some of this back. All right, I passed on a couple of things. Yeah, I like the over in this game, by the way. I just think with Embiid playing like he's playing, and the fact that Mitch Rob is not in there, and Mitch Rob is a major plus on defense and just a net neutral on offense, to be honest, because he does get offensive rebounds, but so do the other dudes on this team. So I don't think Mitch Rob's gonna be he's gonna be impactful for the total more than the outcome of this game, in my opinion. All right, let me add a couple more as I see people bringing in some more bets. Let's look at Toby Harris. I know we only got 6 minutes, so actually let me focus on the Knicks game, see if there's anything else there. I know I passed on a lot of stuff. Points for Brunson, 31.5. Is that real? Jesus, 31.5 because he just hit 39. Like, look at all these unders versus this Philly team. He had a really good shooting game, but it's a pass. I'm not going to try to get too cute with that for Brunson. I think there's other dudes that are going to make shots. I think Dante DiVincenzo is probably a pretty good look here for points. I don't think he's getting enough credit, and I know that he only had 5 last game. What was his? He played 28 minutes too. That was a little bit weird. I like Dante, but none of y'all asked about Dante, so let me just bring up what you did. I took Kyle Lowry. I do like that. Bogey was talked about. I mean, his minutes have just gone down the drain, so I cannot comfortably take Bogey. Look at these last 2 games, 11.5 and 13.5 minutes, taking 7 and 5 shots. I cannot believe he went from 12 shots in game 1 in 24.5 minutes to just not being effective or apparently at all. And he's just out of Tibbs's rotation. So I can't take anything for Bogey right now. I don't know how to project his minutes at all. So I got to pass on Bogey because unless he's getting 20 to 25 minutes, then I'm not going to bet him. Like, under 15 minutes, and it's a straight no for me for sure. Fading Toby Harris. Here's what I would be fading is points and assists. So points and assists for Tobias. God, he is just a painful player to bet on over. Now, the weird thing is he's at 20 on the season. Head-to-head, he's at 12, right? So, like, what do you want to buy into more? The way he's played this team this year, where he has not gone over a single time in 7 matchups with this team, or do you want to buy the season stuff? Let me put Joel in here so we know that Joel's playing. Let me put also, let me make sure that we know that Kyle Lowry's playing, that Tyrese Maxey is playing, and that Kelly Oubre Jr. is playing. So I got Maxey, Oubre, and Embiid all as playing in here. And now if you look at that on the season, 1 for 5, averaging 12. And obviously a lot of those games actually against the Knicks. The overall here with those dudes in, the minutes are at 35, which is about what you can expect for him in this game. I think 35. And I think you just got to pay attention more to the head-to-head stuff. But he's closing in on it, right? What's his shooting splits been here? Field goal attempts, he's taken 9 so far in this series. And he's only, this field goal percentage has been terrible for Toby Harris. So, like, if he has one good shooting game, then maybe it goes over. He has been boarding, but now this is very high. It's I thought it was 7.5 actually. It is 7.5 in some places. Yeah, so let me for him, I think I'd be on the under points and assists. I'm going to use his numbers versus this team with these dudes in on the season. I know it's only 3 games, but in 3 games with them averaging 30, that's hold on one sec. Let me see here. We got to keep all these dudes in though. I can't believe he's only done that 3. He's only played 5 games this season with all these dudes. I guess because Joel was hurt. That's right. So Joel was hurt. Let me just take out Lowry for a minute. So on the season, yeah, he still had about 18 with those 3 dudes in, 20 of 29 to the over. You can see how this is scary, bro, right? Like it's just been like 3 games like this where he's still getting minutes and he's still getting 10 shots. So if he does shoot 50%, he's at 10 points right there. If he makes a 3, he's probably at 12. And then the assists are at 2.5, and the under is -142. So it's the assists that like I really like to add to it, but I wouldn't do this without the points and assists for Tobias Harris. Like I wouldn't just be taking under points, and I probably wouldn't be messing with just under assists, to be honest. So I'm probably going to pass on Toby. The rebounds could be a play. Let me just see what his rebound chances have been at real quick. Let me change this filter. So now I'm on NBA Advanced Stats, player tracking data. So I changed it to players and tracking. I'm on rebounding. I got the playoffs up, so it's just these playoff games. I'm going to change this team filter down here to team equals PHI. And you can see the rebound chances for Tobias. He's been the second best rebounder for this team, 13 on 7.7. Let me pull up the game log from this last game. So this is game 3's game log, and I'm changing traditional to player tracking. And I'm looking at rebound chances for Tobias. He was at 10 and pulled down 7, right, in this last game, right? That's how many rebounds he had? Let me pull up the rebounds for him. He had 5 in this last game, and the Knicks shot pretty well. They didn't shoot as well as Philly, but they shot well. And so I'm looking at head-to-head here. Yeah, he had 5 in this one, 9 in the first 2, and his rebound chances are at 13 per game, 10 in this one. So let's say his rebound chances stay at about 10 to 13, and he needs to get 7 rebounds off of 10 rebound chances. That's a lot, man. That's still a lot for Toby. I know he went over 9 in the first couple, but there was a lot worse shooting in those first 2. We saw an under in the first 2 as well. Unders are always good for that, but let's see, bro. I lost out on Harden assist last game for Esau's. I thought the 7.5 were good, but we got system play. Let me just look at this game starting. So I'm gonna pass on Tobias. This was at like 15.5, and I just want to show y'all real quick. Betting Pros is really helpful to make sure that you're not paying a premium. And what I mean by that is if you're on this link is in the description of the video as well. Betting Pros is a way that really the best site for me looking at previous prop lines. So I'm gonna pull up Tobias real quick and go down to his let's see, points and assists, right? So yeah, it's at 14.5 now. Yeah, okay, 14.5, and like it's gone down hella right now. Even in this series, I guess it was at 15.5 last game, went down again because his points and assists were at 8 now, so it went down again. But yeah, normally in the season, he's at like 18, 19.5, even against this team in the past. It's just that they dropped this so much because now it's the playoffs and he's kind of disappeared. But the likelihood that he gets back to the norm at some point in the series is too high for me to take it, right? Because if I put this in with let me make sure I'm not messing up his totals here. It's 14.5 PA. Yeah, it's up. The points is just 11.5, right? And on the season, if you just look at the points and not just the PA, the points for his line, 11.5 is so far below his norm. Now he had some bad games to end the season. And then some of those games were without Joel, but some of them were with Joel, and he's still at 17.5, 14. Yeah. So the points prop at 11.5, it just keeps dropping because he hasn't gotten there, but he's gotten close. He's got the shot attempts. He's just shot like crap. And there's going to be a game probably at home where he ends up going over. So I got to pass on Tobias again in this one. Like it's just, even without putting it in, I know that Yeah, this is a good point. I did mention that for Tobias. Like, I like going under because when he plays bad teams, he goes over, but when he plays good teams, he goes under. I totally agree with that. But I'm out on that for Tobias. Like, yeah, it's to me, the question about Tobias is it's a little bit of a trap, bro. Honestly, like the points and assists, the under is a trap to me just as much. Like, I don't think the over is a trap because they keep dropping that lines for us to try to get over it. So I passed on Brunson because I don't trust him against this team. He had a really good shooting game last game, but I'm not confident that they're going to get there. I'm starting to talk myself into an under. The only other thing here would be Kelly, if you wanted some Kelly Oubre love. I know we like to fade Kelly O on this show, but if you pull up Kelly Oubre stuff real quick, And also, quick reminder: I should put this on the bottom line. If you wanted if you don't yet have an account with props.cash, and you do want one, because I stay used, I use this every time. I would definitely use that code. Just get 25% off for the month, and then you can go ahead and just use it and see if you like it. It's like a $15 at that point for a month to see if you like it. And if you don't like it, then no hard feelings. You can just dip out, obviously. But I'm gonna make sure y'all know that the code is LYB24 for land your bets. Use code LYB24 for 25% off first month of props.cash. But it's like one of the best one-stop shops, y'all. It's obviously, you see me using it so consistently. So, all right, we got that on the bottom. Yeah, appreciate you, Aramis. If you could hit that like button, bro, it's really, really, really appreciated. Everything goes to help the show, keep it going for y'all. All right, the only other thing was Kelly Oubre. I kind of like Kelly to have another good game. Like, he normally plays well against this team. He had 10 points and 4 points in the first games, but he shot 43 and 29%. He is the main defender for Brunson, and so I think you'll see him continue to get 38 minutes. He got 25.6 in game 2, but 38 in the other 2. So I think he's much closer to a 38-minute player than he is the 26-minute player, right? So if you put Kelly at 30, let's put him at 35 just to be a little bit conservative. If you put him at 35 on the season, and just look at his points and rebounds, is something that I do like. I know my homie Nate talked about that on the line show. I mean, look, it's a lot of green, obviously. He's gone over in 19 to 20 games where he's played this much time at 35 plus minutes. Let me put Joel in there. I'm not sure how often he got 35 without Joel. So even with Joel, the only under was that game 2 with the points. And the amount, he had 7 in the first quarter of this last game, right? So I don't think we necessarily missed the boat. He still only took 8 shots in this last game, but he made 8 shots. But he took 8 and made 6. So the fact that he's only taking 8 shots in this series is really annoying, to be honest with you. Why is Joel not listed in that other? Oh, because he didn't play 35 minutes. Let me just do with Joel head to head here. Yeah, so he scored 4 in that last game because he took 7 shots in 25 minutes. 8.5 attempts to get there. It's mad annoying, dude, because I really want to take Kelly O, but I don't know if the shots are going to be there for him. I don't want, like, the games that he's gone over, he shot 50 to 70% from the field, 75%. In the games that he went under, he was shooting 43%, 29% was real bad shooting. So Kelly O is a little bit more of a pass for me. I'm a bit scared for him, but I'm good on that one for now. Yeah, this might be a good look too if you got Brunson RA, just so you know. But I'm going to move on to this next game. Now, let me see what's up with this Knicks game real quick. Did it actually start? These things never seem to start on time. So yeah, it's going to start in a sec. But it hasn't gone yet. And I can't watch it with y'all, obviously. So I'll keep it on a different screen. All right, I'm going to move this screen down here so I can watch some of this Knicks game while we talk about it. But we're going to keep going. So, appreciate y'all sticking around. If you got stuff to do, no hard feelings. But I'm going to keep this game on so I can at least see how these bets are doing with y'all once this game starts. We still got the national anthem going. Cool. So yeah, for since we do have a little bit more time, what was the only other? Oh, OG steals. Like, yeah, steals. I'm not the dude, unfortunately, for the steals. Like, I don't have steal attempts or anything to use yet on that. I definitely want to update the model so that I can look at that stuff a little bit more. If you look at the season for OG, if you were someone was talking about under steals for OG, because I see he's gone under versus this team pretty consistently, including all 5 he's played with the Knicks that he's gone under in this. Let me see who he's matched up with real quick. If we go to matchups inside of game 3, so we're inside the game 3 game log here for these two teams, and I'm looking at who OG is guarding just to see if there's anything there. So I'm putting him on defense. If you're not familiar with how to use this, I'm gonna be having a video come out about how to use the box score itself, but matchups is going to be a really important thing to understand a lot of stuff about people. He's guarding Tyrese. Tyrese had 1 turnover, but that doesn't mean it was a steal for OG. It's hard to get steals on the dude who has the ball in his hands the whole time. Plus, he's the dude that's going to be distributing. Like, it's when the pass is going to his guy that he gets into the lane a little bit more. You like PG first quarter points? Okay, we can take a look at that. Let me add a couple more things that y'all are bringing now that we know this Knicks game is about to start, and I don't have too much more for it, and I don't think any of y'all have put anything else in there. So, sorry, Josh Hart, y'all brought it up, and I think that's a good look, honestly. Like, that's when you got a guard. I love Josh Hart. I love the rebounds, all that good stuff. But like, look at the is that Dawn Staley with the bell? Oh, I guess, yeah, she's from Philly, right? She coached St. Joe's, whatever. Dawn Staley hitting the drum for this. 76ers fans suck, bro. Sorry for the 76ers fans in here. All right. That's my main point. I would go under for OG for the steals because one of the things when you look at the matchup, it's easier for OG to get steals when he's playing off the ball who's receiving the passes. Tyrese is handling the ball and making the passes, right? So it's harder for OG to get steals because Tyrese is a great ball handler and not someone who turns the ball over off of someone stealing the ball from his dribbles. Like he's got too much handle. So I'm passing on that, but I would lean towards the under if you wanted to take the steals for OG. Let me just update the bottom line real quick and get it going. No, it's going good. I'm going to pass on the OG steals. I passed on the Brunson points. It's just so goddamn high. I don't like dealing with that. And like, I don't want to have to rely on him to shoot like 48-50% like he did last game. So I'm going to pass on that. I think we're good on here. I think Josh Hart under rebounds is a better play than over. I'm not going to lie to you. If he gets 7 in the first quarter, I look like an idiot. But if I go to rebounds and pull up Jay Hart, and that's my guy, I don't like betting against Josh Hart, and I don't want to root against him either. But yes, 6 in the last game with the rebound chances I'm going to go back to tracking data inside of the game 3 game log. His rebound chances were at 13 to get 12. That's crazy right now. Who's guarding him? I wonder if they switched that up. Maybe they switched up who's guarding Josh Hart. As a result, he's not able to get as many rebounds. I mean, we got Tobias. It's an even split here between Kyle Lowry, Toby, and Kelly Oubre. So they're all giving it a go. And they did limit his rebounds, and they were just not. Okay, the other thing was that the 76ers shot the lights out. So if you don't think the Sixers are going to shoot the lights out again, then yeah, this it's a little bit scarier. And that's, I guess, I don't want to have to bank on them shooting really well, but yeah, to go under. But for the over, like if they don't shoot as poorly as they did in the first 2 games, then we're not going to have as many rebound chances for Josh Hart. So let me keep it rolling here for y'all with a couple other things. Deuce might be a good play as well, but I'm passing on that. I got a couple other things in that one. So really, I want to know about Norm Powell, and I cannot get any goddamn Norm Powell stats. Let me start with, and the other thing I want to put in here is like, I know that he screwed us last game, but the PJ Washington bet, man, like he was gonna get it. He was at he was at 15 points and rebounds. We needed him to get 3 more in the last like 8 minutes of the game, and then PJ just dicked us like that. But like, man, I still like the PJ numbers for this game, so I'm just gonna put him in here as we're looking at him. And I'm also going to talk about I don't have any Luka stuff in here. Let me add that. But I really, really want to bet Norm Powell, man, and I can't get his stuff yet, which is really, really annoying. So if we don't have any info yet about Kawhi, right? Let me see if anything came up on right here for a sec. So yeah, we still don't have anything out on Kawhi. He's still going to just be questionable. But what's interesting is that Bucks game. We can talk about that in a sec too. Let me roll into the Clippers and Mavs though, since they're the next game up. And what I got scrolling there on the bottom line for that game right now. First one, we can look at Zubac. So this is the problem, is like everything is so heavily impacted by Kawhi and how available he actually is. I believe he's still listed as a game time decision, right? Props Madness usually has this a little bit better updated. So let me pull up the LAC Dallas game. Look at Kawhi. I mean, he's still in there. He's still got props up. He's down to 17.5 points. The rebounds are down to 4.5 on FanDuel. Like, they really are begging us to take an over, and with the knowledge that like he might play a few minutes and that knee might swell up and he's done. You know what I mean? So that's the scary part about taking Kawhi. Now, I think it's actually better to just bank on other dudes on the Clippers getting their stats, because even if Kawhi is in, the likelihood that he can't go for more than 25 minutes like he did last game might mean that we're getting some good looks at this. So that's now what my brain is telling me as it's starting to work and the coffee keeps kicking in. Is like, yo, grab low props for the did we take Maxey first quarter points? I was supposed to take Maxey first quarter points. Okay, I did. That scrolling on the bottom line is green. I want to make sure y'all got that in. I don't think he scored yet, and Joel misses a shot, and Dante gets a rebound. But, oh, bro, I'm going to be so distracted. Keep me focused, y'all. All right, let's zoo boards and zoo points from Derek Reyes. Okay, I see you, Eric. Boards and points, 15-plus points. 15-plus points. That's okay. Okay. I see you. Let's pull up Zubac. I love betting on Zubac. Honestly, I think we usually get some pretty good lines. Ooh, assist for Kyle early. No. Okay. We get some pretty good lines for Zubac, especially when we've got Kawhi hobbled. So we're at -142. Let's take out Kawhi. Let's put him through the. Let's just take out Kawhi for a minute, right? And assume that like Zoo's going to get a few more minutes with him. So obviously, game one that was head to head on the season without Kawhi, over in 10 of 13. Now, I went over in game one with Zoo because of the fact that Kawhi was out, and y'all saw that. I'm sure you some of y'all tailed it, and it was a really good look. Kyle Lowry for 3. Nope. Rebound to Kelly. Oh, to Kyle. All right. We're back. The thing for Zoo is like when Kawhi is in there versus when he's not. So 10.8 boards on the season without Kawhi in 13 games. With Kawhi, let's just put him with for a minute. With Kawhi, that drops to 9, 23 of 58. So it's a big deal, bro. Like he's over this without Kawhi. He's under it with Kawhi. If we cap Kawhi's minutes, it's tough. So let's do this. It's tough to say without Kawhi because he's going to be in there. And even in the 25 minutes Kawhi played last game, he still got 9 boards, right? In 25 minutes, he had a ton of chances. God, Tobias is so bad. So with all those chances, like, yeah, that's tough. Like, let me see. Kawhi had 9 boards in this last game, and he only played, and he gets boards against it. I mean, board man, right? So it's tough to feel good about rebounds, even for Zubac without knowing what's going to happen to Kawhi. This sucks. Now, if you think Kawhi is just going to be hobbled and barely able to play, then you just take this, honestly. If anybody gets info about Kawhi, please just drop that in the chat. There's Kyle. So the points, I mean, I can see the points. Now, how many shots has he been taking? So let's we'll put Zoo at 32 minutes. I'm gonna put his points into the model as well. The shots that he's been taking last 3, like look at this, 12 and 11. Let's assume he's not gonna take 17 every freaking game. We'll put him comfortably at the average of that. Still 29, 40 divided by 3. I should be able to do that in my head, but I can't. 40 divided by 3 is 13 shots a game. Let's put him at 12. So if we put him at 12 shots a game, let's see how many times he's taken. Let's see how many times he's taken 11. 11 shots this season. Field goal attempts. That's head to head. Okay, so when he takes 11 shots, he's over in 14 of 15. What about when he takes 10 shots? Because now I feel like I'm being over ambitious here. What about when he takes 10 shots? When he takes 10 shots, he makes 7 of them. Sheesh. Zoo is a beast, bro. I can see where you're coming from with being like, screw it. Let me get him at 15 plus points. In this series, he has taken that many shots in all games. He's gotten 13, then 19 and 20. Ooh, Toby with 2 points if you had him for the first quarter points. 19, 20, and 30. I mean, that's a lot of points, fam. 12 and a half. So on the season, this is 11 field goal attempts. Let me take the field goal attempts off. Let me put him on the season at 32 minutes. Right, which he's done in all 3 of these first games. So I put him at that for the first 2. Toby with 4 first quarter points. Wow. Joel getting assists. We're good. All right, 32 minutes, and he's only done this with Kawhi a handful of times. Like, let me just pull up StatMuse for y'all real quick too, because this is a great website for splits. And so if you don't use StatMuse at all, like this is where you use it, is for just getting quick, easy splits. So for StatMuse, we got Zubac with and without Kawhi this season. Same amount of minutes, but the rebounds and the points go up, obviously. 13 without him, 10.4 without him. Like, everything I've read about Kawhi is like, everybody's like, yo, it's worse than you think. And like, his knee isn't there. And when you look at Ty Lue's interviews about Kawhi, he's just like, I don't know. What he wants to say is like, can this motherfucker just play? And what he has to say is, we're going to be safe and cautious with him. But Ty Lue is from an era of like, you know, KG coming out and calling out these dudes, like all these Paul Pierce coming out. It's just what it is now, calling them kind of soft. And Ty Lue is not a fan of that, but it does seem like he's frustrated and not going to get him in there. So I think Zoo is a better play for the points with Kawhi in there for even a little bit. If Kawhi is in there for 25 minutes, the points for Zoo are still a pretty good look. If he's in there for 25 minutes, the rebounds for Zoo might be a little bit worse of a look. He has had hella rebound chances. Let me put him in here with some numbers. Let's just give him some numbers real quick and some projections, and we'll go for there. All right. So for Zoo, what we're going to assume for him is that if he gets 32 plus minutes, he's averaging, well, let's do it this way. On the season, he's averaging 12 points per game. We'll do 11.9 per game. We're starting with the points in 26.7 minutes. So right there, you already know we're going to get an edge, right? If you put him up to the 30 minutes. So I think we just got to keep playing the points for Zoo, honestly. Even if Zubac is playing with Kawhi, like in this matchup, I think you got to give him the points, to be honest. If he's going to keep taking that many shots, it's gone down. Let me see real quick. Head to head, I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Head to head, he had 19 last game, 32 minutes, and 11 shots. So it was his fewest amount of shots. How many times did he get to the free throw line? 3 free throw attempts. So that's really like 2 more shots because he got fouled on him. It doesn't count as a field goal attempt, right? So yeah, even with the 11 attempts, he still took the 2 free throws. He only had 1 free throw attempt in the first game because he didn't get fouled nearly as much, and he took 17 shots. So we're still in a good spot for Zoo at 12.5 points. I can get that for minus 112. Let me just show you what I mean. I'm gonna put Zubac in here to make sure I'm not being lazy about this. I'm gonna put Zoo in here. I'm gonna take him for points. I'm going to take him at 12.5. Under odds are minus 108. Over odds are minus 112. So minus 108 on the under, minus 112 to the over. The minutes average on the season will put him at 26.5. The prop average on the season is 11.9. Projected minutes tonight, we're going to give him 32, and he could see more than that. So the probability to the under at minus 108 is going to be about 50%, right? I'm pulling up my betting calculator. Minus 108 is a 52% probability, 52% implied success rate, and then the over at minus 112 rather. 112, the implied odds are 53% that it's going to happen, that it happens. So minus 112. Okay, cool. So 53%. And we have about a 13%, 12.5% edge to the over, which is decent enough to bet it. I mean, you'd like to get as close to 20 as you can. 10% is the minimum to play it. And then the question just becomes, do you think that there's an uptick in stuff? And on the season, his field goal attempts average, real quick, let me look, at 11.9 points. When he plays that much, he's averaging 8 field goals. So we give him another couple field goals, and he's shooting 66%, right? So I think you still if you give him another couple field goals and he needs to make 1 or 2 of them, then yeah, we're still good, right? We still get over that pretty well. So I think this is another good play for Zoo. I'm going to take the over on his points right now for that. But yeah, let me look at Harden assists because Free Sauce thinks that's a good look, and it could be. I just got burned last game, bro. So I'm in a bit of a spiral with James Harden. That last game was just so nasty in every way. Russell Westbrook just did us so dirty. All right, let me make sure I make it clear what I got here. This is the Knicks at Philly, and hopefully that could still be helpful for some live bets. And then I got Zubac over 12.5 points, and I get that for minus 108, which is wonderful. Or no, I'm sorry, minus 112. The under is that. Minus 112 on FanDuel, I believe. Let me make sure I'm not messing this up. Nope, it's on DraftKings is minus 112. All right. DK, minus 112. DK. All right. Got that coming up on the bottom line. I do like a full unit on Zubac, by the way. So hopefully y'all get that in for Zoo on the points. I like that. Let's see. Maxey ain't scoring. Great. Love that. Freaking Maxey. All right. We're going to be looking at the Harden assists. The rebounds for Zoo are just too dependent on Kawhi. That's what the point that I keep coming back to for y'all. So I'm out on the rebounds for Zoo for now. But like if the minute that Kawhi is ruled out, feel free to hit 9.5. And the other thing is, if you feel like you have any kind of insight into Kawhi not playing, then 9.5 boards for Zubac is going to be a great look. And the reason being, like, with and without Kawhi, it goes up by about 2 boards per game. If I take Kawhi out real quick and just show the games he hasn't played on the season, over in 10 of 13, 10.8 boards. So it's like he's still slightly creeping over it. It might be a little bit scary, but I think the rebounds for without Kawhi at 9.5, yeah, you're still getting 10.5 now. You can't even get 9.5. So plus 110 at 10.5 is going to be a little bit scarier. Not quite an edge the way we might want it to be. But if Kawhi's out, then we do have that edge a little bit more. So, but yeah, Zoo double-double, probably a good look. That's a good point. Zoo double-double. If you get like around even money for that, I think that's pretty good. All right, let me look at Harden real quick and see why he fucked everybody last game. James, where you at, bro? 4.5 boards. 7.5 dimes for James Harden. You can get that minus 120 MGM, minus 122 on DraftKings. So there's a couple good spots to find it. Eat some of these peanuts, bro. We're gonna be going for a minute here today. I might need to get somebody else on this stream with me too. We're not stopping. I took too long a break to stop after an hour and a half with y'all. All right. I just turned my mic off, so I'm not chewing in your ear. But now I'm looking at Harden. And why did he only have, what do you have last game? Let me pull up head-to-head. 5 dimes. 5 dimes, James, on 13 potential assists. That's horrible for this Clippers team. Horrible. Horrible, bro. Let me look at something real quick. Let me try to show you this. If I do... Well, let's start here. James Harden with and without Kawhi. Let's just start with that on StatMuse. So let me do James the Beard. James Harden with and without Kawhi this season. Nothing really changes. That's a good point. Nothing really changes. The assists barely go up without him. He's at 8.6. This Mavericks team isn't great at limiting assists. It's just his team needs to make a damn shot, honestly. Without Kawhi, there might be a little bit more pick and roll with Zoo. Let's look at the season real quick. For James, 48 out of 75, 8.5 in 34.5 minutes. How many minutes he played in his last 2 games? He's played 44, 42, and 40, right? 39, whatever you want to call it. So if we put him at 42 minutes, let's put him in the model real quick. Let's do James. Where are you at, James? Let me do James. Let's just put Beard right here. I'm on this line right here. I'm just going to highlight it so you know what I'm looking at. So I'm on Beard assists. The line is 7.5. The over, the best number is -122. The under, the number here looks like +1. You could get +110 on FanDuel if you want it. So let me put that in there for the under. I know we're looking at overs, but and it's -122 for the over. So this is 110 to the under, -122 to the over. Minutes average on the season was 34.5, and he averaged 8.5, right? The projected minutes in this one, I'm going to put him at 40. I think 42. Yeah, I mean, I think 42 is a good number. Obviously, the probability of the over is very high, but I got to take this into consideration. So -122 is the over, and that is a 55% chance implied probability. So 55 right here, and the under at +110 is very unlikely. +110 is going to be, put this right here. The implied odds are going to be 48%. Okay, not as bad as I might have thought, but 48% to the under means we have about a 28.5% edge to the over on the assists. I mean, 13 potential assists should get you 7 to 8 dimes, right? I wish it was a little bit higher, but like, look, 8 on 12 potentials twice in this series earlier, 11 on 15. Or this is all against Dallas too. Hold up, let me do on the season here. On the season. And let me look at this real quick. So on the season, he's averaging 13.7 potential assists to get 8.5, right? Which is good for us. That gets us there. If we look at the minutes and we put this up to about 42, like I said, and we see that on the season, let's just keep it at 40 for now. On the season, when he plays 40, he went under versus Dallas in that one and against the Warriors. The Warriors, he had 20 potential assists, and this team could only pull out 7 makes for him on those 20 potentials. Normally, when he gets this amount of time, though, he's looking at a ton of assists. I think it's a good look. I mean, I just got burned by it, but at -122 with a 20% edge, right? And you can see, hopefully y'all can see what I'm looking at when I say 20% edge. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So right here at the end here, this is taking into consideration the book's numbers and the probability in general to the over. So the book is saying 55% likelihood of this happening. The overall numbers say a 71% chance of this happening to the over. So that gives us a really nice edge of about 29%, right? And like I said, you want that over 20 and definitely at least 10 if you're going to hit it. So I think the Beard is a good play according to the odds and the likelihood that he's getting these potential assists. Yeah, Luka fake injured for sure. No doubt about that. I'm just looking at what y'all are saying real quick. Oh, here's a good look for this game. Let me add that. Daryl Beth has got Pat Connaughton assists. I always love the random ass shit like that because that means nobody else is looking at it and there might be some value. So let me put Patty C in here. Patty C assists. I'm just putting him on the bottom line. I think I'm taking the money here, the bet for James Harden to get those dimes as well. So I like the James Harden dimes look. Based on everything we said here, even at -122, I still think that's a good look. So I'm going to add Going back to the beard, man. God, that scares the shit out of me. All right, let me make sure I make clear that I took the points for our boy Zoo. Now I'm adding James Harden assists. Where are my Norm Powell points and rebounds props at, y'all? Let me know when I get those. If anybody finds Norm Powell points and rebounds, I want to take a look at that and then show you what I see there. James Harden assists over. We're going over 7.5 because we get that for minus 122 on DK. All right. I'm going half a unit for James because he still scares me. Half a unit on James. Let me make sure I make the units clear to y'all. Wait, come on, dog. 0.5 units for Jimbo Beard. And then Kyle Lowry was that full. Oops. Kyle Lowry was the full unit, but hopefully y'all already got that in. All right. And Zubac is the full unit as well. And I got the green check here for James Harden. Up on the bottom line, everything's scrolling there. If you're new, jump in with a bet. Let me know what you want to look at. We still got the Clippers and the Mavs to look at. We got the and the late game too. Yeah, so if it's moving, if the line's moving for James Harden, it's because it's a good look, and it's a good find by you, Free Sauce. I mean, we all know about it. It's just scary. I got to put PG on here too, right? You said PG first quarter points. Let me add Brook Lopez in here. I appreciate y'all jumping in with all these bets. I got a Lopez bet coming in from Adriano. Let's see, Brolo. What did you call? Did you want points for Brolo? Let me go back to comments. Hello, comments for Brook Lopez ladders. We could. Let's look at 3-pointer. That's true. Like he's probably gonna need to make some threes. And then the other one I want to make sure I didn't forget is I'll get Kyrie in there because a couple of y'all brought him up as well. But yeah, I don't think that there's any truth to Luka might be hobbled, but he's gonna play. So I'm gonna put Kyrie in here we'll put PA. I was liking the rebounds for Kyrie. If it's up at 5.5, then we lost the value on it. But all right, I got those added in there. Yeah, and we want a PG 20.5 points, which is sus for sure. Let's see. I'm gonna put PG in here as well because I don't think I put him in here. Paulie G. Just calling him Paulie G. Over 20.5 points because he has been shooting like dog poo. I needed him to make 2 threes last game, and he couldn't do it. That was sad times in the freaking world of PG. Let me pull up the other banner here so it's clear which game we're on. We're on Dallas and the Clippers. Let me know if you have anything. I got a lot of bets to look at for that one, so let's just get into it. I don't think we have Norm Powell props yet still, which is dumb annoying. They pull faster through over here, like I said. So I can get Mason Plumlee props, and I can't get Norm Powell props. F out of here, dude. That's crazy. Let me pull up my prop finder real quick and see if I got anything. Is Hartenstein scoring over there? Looks like he is. Pulling up props for there's Kelly Oubre scoring. Losing my focus. Sorry, bro. Norm, come on. Norm. Come on, Norm. Why are y'all scared? Norm doesn't even do that much better with and without Kawhi. That's crazy. It's a line right problem for Monday. I don't need that right now. All right, so we still don't have any of that from our main man Storm and Norman Powell, but we do have. I'm rolling with James, like we said. A couple other things I want to look at from this game. I know we got Zoo looked at. We got Kyrie to look at. Kyrie points scares me when he's playing with Luka and Luka's going off. I'm just going to be completely honest with y'all. I usually stay towards the rebounds and assists for Kyrie because he's been doing a lot of that. The assists are at 6. What's the RA at? 9.5. Over in 2 of 3 here. On the season, he's averaging 10 in 35 minutes. In this series, he's played 39, 42, and 36. So it's not a guarantee that Kyrie's getting 40 minutes by any means. He's only done it once in this series, and he's looking at a few less in the rest of them. Ooh, Jalen Brunson going off. That was a good look at 30.5 probably. I think he's back on one. So if Jalen Brunson's back on one, we'll start riding the JB train again. All right, let's keep it moving with I think rebounds and assists is a starting point here. On the season, 10.1 for Kyrie to God in 35 minutes. Let's honestly, we just got to put him at, I don't think we can put him at much more than 30. I mean, 36 is the floor. Let's put him 36 to 38. I'll put him 36 to 41. How about that? That seems fair. He's only played 40 minutes once in this series, but 36 to 41 if he does get that amount. Now it's up to 13 out of 22, but it doesn't go up that much. The points with that minutes cap, he's averaging 25.6 on the season. if I put this up to 36 minutes at least, now we're talking about a little bit better, but still 28.4, 17 out of 27. Not that much wiggle room. I think the rebounds and assists is still a good look. Let me look at this real quick. 10.1 on the season, averaging potential assists at 10, right? And that's in 36 minutes or so. So for Kyrie against this Clippers team, let me look at what his stuff is real quick. Kyrie Irving. This is Courtside Pal. So for those of y'all that are not familiar, Courtside Pal is an awesome tool to just kind of like help us wait out how he plays against his player profile type. So his player type, not just his player position, which I don't care about. All right. Kyrie to God on the assists versus this team, playmaker stuff versus the Clippers. Yeah, they're good at limiting that shit, aren't they? They're the second best team at limiting assists to Kyrie's profile. As far as the rebounds go for Kyrie, they are also very good at that. Where's the Clips? Yeah, 21st. So they're really good against Kyrie for a reason. That's why we do see this stuff a little bit lower, and that's why I'm a little bit scared of it, to be honest. So the threes for Kyrie was a look too. How many is he even pulling for three? If you look at the 3-point attempts, in 7 on the season, he's at what, 2.5? Juiced all the way down, averaging 3 on the season. So at minus 178, you're not going to get any juice. There's a Josh Hart rebound too. What are we looking at here? Jay Hart's already got 4 boards. I'm glad I didn't recommend strongly to go under. And then JB's doing all the scoring. Embiid's got 8. Maxey has 3. Still need him to get 3 more. Come on, bro. I'm glad I didn't fade Toby. 6. He's already got 6 points in rebounds. I mean, 4 points, no assists, but Kyle's got 3 and 3. So Kyle Lowry's already at 6 points and assists. I like that. Really like how we're trending there. All right, keeping it moving though. But Luka's going to play, right? Does anybody think Luka's really not going to play? I see Mike talking about Luka. Mike's been on that Ramadan first quarter unders for Kyrie. That's insane, dude. Berserk. What a word. I don't know. Yeah, that's a man. I can't imagine Luka's not going to play. Is he still listed as questionable? I mean, I think he is. Is there anything? Are they going to help us with anything? It says Luka's questionable still. I don't know. Luka's going to play, right? That's fake questionable. Ain't nobody believing that. So I'm not too worried about Luka. I'm going to imagine that Luka is playing in this one and just not fade anything to do with that. I don't think you take more Kyrie stuff because of no Luka. I don't love the threes. Let's see. Head to head, obviously he's hitting that consistently, which is why that's minus 178. You're not going to get any love on the minus 178. I'm going to tell you right now. The average 3-point attempts so far in this series, he's looking at 7, 8, and 6. So you'd really need him to get 3 of 7, 3 of 6. Yeah, there's no edge there. That's a silly bet. If anything, you might get a slight edge to the under if you look at the juice there. -1, it's plus 138. Let me see if there's anything to that for Kyrie. I don't love fading him. I know he's hit at least 3 in this series consistently. But if you look at the plus 138, that might just have to be a play in general. Let me put Kyrie in here and take his 3 p.m. and take 2.5 is the line. The under odds are 138, which I might even be able to get better than that. Yeah, on FanDuel, it's 138. The over, you can get minus 148. So I'll just put that both in here. Minus 148 for the over. Minutes average, we'll put him at the 36 or so, right? He was at 35.7 for the season. And his prop average is exactly 3, right? Projected minutes in this one, we'll give him 30. We'll give him 40. I'll even give him 40. And see what this is, because the book under implied probability at plus 138. 138 is a 42% chance of that happening. So the under is 42%. That's not good, obviously, but we're getting so much juice. There's no edge. There's no edge either way for the threes. All right, I'm off Kyrie threes. I already seen enough at this point. The points for Kyrie, if you get it at 24.5, he's averaging 25.6 in that amount of time. I know he went under in these last 2. Let's just take a quick look, because 36 and 39 minutes are the ones that even 42 minutes he went under. He took 17, 18 shots. So we put him about 17 and a half shots. And he's shooting about 48%. And that's basically what it is on the season, y'all. So it's like there's still not much of an edge for the points for Kyrie. You just got to hope he goes over hella. And he's just finishing it up with Courtside Pal, like his scoring stuff right here, points against shooting profile and scoring profile against LAC. 12th and 15th. Okay, the points are a better play than the rebounds and the assists. I'll give you all that if you did take it, but it's a pass for me on the Kyrie points. I'm gonna update the banner real quick so you know that. Reminder, jump in the comments. We got a lot of new people in here, so appreciate y'all jumping in. Subscribe to the page and at least like the video if you would. But we're coming out with plenty more stuff moving forward, so I'm going to keep going here. I am passing on Kyrie anything. Passing on to God. For Luka, I don't know how healthy he is. Now, if Luka's not healthy, points for Kyrie is a go. Even if he's healthy and not, and if he's playing and not healthy, it's still a go. And maybe the assist is what you look at for Luka a bit more, like you guys were saying a minute ago in the chat. Like, I understand all that logic and think it adds up perfectly, but this thing's getting out of hand in New York too, and the over is not looking good at 209.5 if you played that. But let me, I'm off Kyrie on that stuff just because it's going to be dependent on Luka. Let's see real quick. Like, obviously, this is going to be nuts. Kyrie with and without Luka this season. Yeah, 6 more points, a couple more shots, 3 more assists, a board more. Like, yeah, 8.4 threes that he's taking. Everything without Luka is going to be way better. And if Luka's out, then yeah, you got some great value on this Kyrie stuff. But I don't know if I'm there for that. Let me look at PG. I passed on Kyrie in the bottom line, but everything's scrolling there if you haven't seen it, including the code for the props.cash stuff. Really excited to be working with them and trying to get some more people, some more accounts if you do like using the stuff that you see here. Like, this is just a really nice one-stop shop for me, and it's worth the $20 a month. So you can still get that. Just if you want to basically like a $15 a month trial for right now, you can use the code LYB24 and get that in there. But all right, Paul George, you got 21.5 here. You got 20.5 on some other books like DK, Caesars, even BetMGM. Best place to get it is going to be like Caesars or DK for the over 20.5 points for PG, who had 7 points in this last game. Playoff P, baby. If you got a case of playoff P, you need to get it checked out by the doctor because that is a freaking virus. So playoff P, 11 field goal attempts last game. Like, what? 11 field goal attempts from this dude, and Kawhi was barely in the game. What is? I'm not gonna just speak ill of that man but that's soft, bro. That is so soft. 3 for 11, 1 for 6 from deep. I mean, was even getting in the mix with the rebounds. 5 boards, 5 dimes. I don't know. Maybe the dimes is a look. 5 boards. I don't know. How can you comfortably take Paul George points at all? Now, I know this got down to 20.5. He went over in the first 2. He still shot like crap, really. He made 50% here, 8 for 20 in the first game. I mean, how could you reasonably and comfortably take an over on Paul George points? I don't know how you could do that. I think if you take anything for him, maybe you look at the RA, to be honest. The dimes, how many potential? He's at plus 120 with the potential assists in this series at 6, 9, and 7. So basically 7 potential assists, which is about what he did on the season for PG assists. He's at 3.6, so that's under the 4, right? We are getting plus 120, so it's worth it to put it in there anyway and see real quick. So he's at 34 minutes on the season. Let's bump that up to about 36 because that's what I mean. He didn't even play 36 in this last game, did he? Did he? No, he did not in one of these games though. In one of these games, yeah, in this last game, he only played 30.4 minutes. 36 and 37. This game was a bit over though once everybody started punching each other in the chest like Russ and PG Washington. Bruh. This is terrifying for Paul George. 5 rebounds. Let me look at the rebound chances real quick for PG. I'm not feeling confident in that. This is on NBA Advanced Stats. I got players and tracking data up, right? And now I'm on rebounding in the playoffs. So I'm going to make this filter down here for team equals LAC. The rebound chances for Paulie G are at 9 in the first 3. 4.3 boards. I mean, that's just so soft, bro. It's just so soft. And he needs to get 5 rebounds. Like, nah, dude, that's a no for me on the over for sure. Like, I can't support this dude right now. The assist would be something, but I don't know why he would get more potential assists. Like, there's nothing to help me at 7 potentials. Let's see, 3.5 plus 120. So let's do this. On the season, he's at 3.6 in 33.9 minutes. We're going to project him for 34 minutes tonight, which is about that. And we're not going to get much of an edge. Now, it's plus money, but hold up, why does that say 3 p.m.? Let's do PG assist 3.5. The under odds are minus 148. Let's make sure we get the best under odds. Minus 120. You could even, minus 120 on the under odds here for PG. So we're going minus 120. We're going over at plus 120, right? Is that what we said? Yeah, plus 120 on FanDuel. So that's a really good number there. Plus 120 on the juice. The minutes average on the season would go 33.5, right? That's what we said on the season. On the season right here. Just want to make sure. 33.9, whatever. All right, 33.9. The prop average is 3, right? Is exactly 3 on the season. 3.6. All right, 3.6. 3.6 on the season. And the projected minutes, we're going to give him 34 in this game too, because I do not know how to trust that rotation with him. So that does give us a slight edge. So the probability over is 52%, but the book's probability over is worse than that. It's 3.5 at plus 120. So plus 120 odds is going to give us 45%. So that's the over odds is 45. The under odds at minus 120. What do we say that was? I should just remember this, bro. Minus 120 is going to be 55%. So 55% to the under probability. Let me make sure something's right. 55% versus 45%. So we do have an edge to the over because of the value on the plus 130. Or plus 120 rather. Plus 120 does give us a little bit better of an edge to the over, when in reality, like the probability of the over is 52%. They're telling us that they're giving us a better edge with the plus 120. So that does make it worth it for the Paul George assist. I just don't know how to trust this dude, fam. Like I never trust playoff P ever, and he's usually a fade or that's a no from me, dog kind of scenario. He has gone over against this team pretty consistently. In 4 of 6 on the 3 of 5 on the season, including the playoffs. The minutes, yeah, I don't know how you get him. If you get him to 36 minutes, you probably get an even better edge here. If you think he's at 36, this is a good play. I think at plus 120, it's a good play. I'm not gonna lie. You see, we have about a 25% edge if he plays 36 minutes, right? So when I change this from 34 to 36, it gives us a better edge. I don't think it's a bad look. I think the assists for James Harden are tough to then also take the assist for PG, because PG has gotten assists in the last 2 games while James Harden has not. So there's a big reason for that too. Damn. So, yeah, I'm talking so much shit on him. It's like you got to fade him. I'm gonna hit that with a half a unit. It's just the edge is there for PG assist. Let me look at the first quarter stuff for him. We'll move on from Paul George. I think that's absolutely enough time on Paul George. But over 3.5 assists if you take it only for plus 120 on FanDuel, right? And I'll put 0.5 units on that. Definitely not throwing a full unit on Paul George. Anything over for sure. Playoff freaking P. All right, so the first quarter stuff y'all are talking about is probably a lot of green recently, right? Real quick, is it 4.5? It's up to 5.5. Is that still the case? Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. I think some people were throwing out 4.5 earlier. Pulling up this game on DraftKings. Paul George points in the first quarter. Going to the bottom here. I can't get first quarter stuff. Here we go. First quarter. Paul George. Don't have him either because of Kawhi's status. Is he available on FanDuel? Let's see real quick. Let me know in the comments too. I'll take a quick look at the comments again to see if I'm missing anything. Paul George points first quarter. Yeah, you can't get it for the clips. Are y'all seeing? Let me know which book y'all are seeing PG on. Yeah, all the Clippers players are down. So Kawhi might be out is what we're about to learn. Is that didn't come out right yet, but Bogey headed to not going through pregame warmups at usual times Sunday is Kawhi. This man, bro. Okay, so yeah, that's what that's about. So you can't even get Paul George assists right now at plus 120. So that number is gone. So I'm probably just gave you a bogus line that won't even exist anymore. So we got to move past this game for a minute. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna come right back. Oh no, not bogey Achilles. Yeah, I could see Paul George jumping up. Yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want in the comments. I'm gonna move on from this other game, but give me 1 sec. Got a couple things. All right, we back. And we back, and we back, and we back. If you have not checked out the Mark Phillips video talking about Metro Boomin making a diss track back at Dre, I highly recommend that. Mark Phillips is the god. All right, looking at I'm gonna move past this game for a minute. Let me know if you guys see something come up, whether it's new props or an actual update on Kawhi, like maybe this. Kawhi Leonard ruled out Sunday. There we go. There we go. That's why I couldn't get Norm Powell props. Yeah, I see y'all now in the chat there. We are officially without Kawhi in this game. So now we got to wait, right? We still probably, let's see, FanDuel should be usually one of the fastest to bring stuff up, but they are not going to give us too many props here. So what you do with that? So with the Kawhi stuff out, right, what we want to do, hell yeah, fuck with RTC World, bro. I met him a couple of times, fam. They're all hilarious. So you really need to check out the Metro Boomin one. The best part about it is the Chance the Rapper. He does that like, yo. Yeah, and I get into some anime too, bro. Obviously, yeah. I mean, I worked at NBA 2K. It was kind of like a video game anime nerd. You kind of have to be. All right, looking at the next game though, real quick, because I can't be messing with this game until we get props up. What you do with this is probably some rebounds for Zoo. I'm glad we got the points in. Hopefully, y'all got that. But yeah, make sure you get the points in for Zubac. If you didn't, then it's probably gone. But let's look at Milwaukee Indy. Who believes in Pat Bev? Anybody? Show of hands. Does anybody believe in Pat Bev? I don't know. I truly don't know. But let's see real quick what that might do. I don't think we're going to have any data on Pat Bev without Dame Lillard, for instance, right? So now we got like some Chris Middleton stuff to consider. Bobby Poe's all the way up at 20.5 points. Like, how many do we think he's going to take in this game in terms of shots? Like, obviously this is not something that he's ever done. There's no data that's going to help us justify a bet on a Bobby Portis over, unless you just, because like, let's see, has he played without Dame and Giannis this season? Doubtful. Taking out Dame, taking out Giannis. One game this season, he had 4 points against OKC because he probably barely played. Wasn't that a blowout? He played 21 minutes. That thing was over before it started. For Chris, has he done this without those two dudes? I don't know for sure, man. Like, this is terrifying times to take anybody on this, because like, look at how high this is, bro. Like for Chris Middleton, right, he has not done that at all this season, because he did it in this last game. He went absolutely ham, went for 42 with the double OT. Obviously hit 2 threes to keep that game alive. Yo, he just willed them to that loss that still wasn't as bad as it could have been. But yeah. So yeah, Kawhi out indefinitely, fam. That is all right. Yeah, we're past that game. So I think here what we're talking about is like, what do you think happens? Do you think this game even stays close enough to make a legit bet with? Let me pull up the here we go. Let me pull this up just so we can see what this line is currently at. Knicks are still in this thing. Plus 10, a 215 total. I don't know how you get to 215 with that offense for Milwaukee. One thing we want to look at that was a good look. I want to look at the Pat Connaughton stuff, and I think Pat Bev might be a play, bro. So let's look at Patty C. Do we have some stuff for Pat Connaughton? Where's he at? No? Middleton, Obi, Pascal. Where's Pat Connaughton? You can't get Pat Connaughton props? That doesn't make any sense. Let me see real quick. Let me pull up my prop finder tool right here from thelines.com. As soon as it comes up, nope. I don't have Pat Connaughton props up. Why? Why do we not have Pat Connaughton? Isn't everybody is it because Chris might not play? Is it because Chris is actually a game time decision? Like, he's not actually hurt, right? In terms of Connaughton. So I don't know why I don't have Connaughton props up. Damn. Yeah, Zubac to the moon for sure. PRA for Bobby Poe. Street Cred's like LOL under. You're not going to find any numbers that are going to be like, take Bobby Portis over 20.5 points. Middleton PRA real quick. So he's at 40 of them. Let's look at 2022-23. Let's look at that without, well, he barely played last year. This is not fair. There's no numbers to help us with Chris Middleton here. He played how many minutes in this last game? 41. There's just nothing to help us here, man. On the season, he averaged 25.8 PRA in 27.5 minutes. It just ain't it. I would definitely be going under on Chris Middleton on the PRA. What about the RA? No, I think PRA. I mean, 26.5 points for Chris. He ain't got it like that, man, right? Like, this is a terrible defense. Let's put Chris Middleton in courtside pal. So Chris Middleton, courtside pal, points. I mean, Indy's terrible. Yeah, because he's an ISO player, right? He scores his points off the ISO. Let me show you what I mean there. I'm going to pull up Props Madness so you can see play type and you can see player tendencies, where they shoot from, stuff like that. So for Chris, we're going to look at Mill and Indy. And we got Chris Middleton up right here. So this is where he'd be shooting from. Top of the key, mid-range. We know that, right? And then a little bit of stuff when he gets to the rim. 30% of his shots at the rim, 60% of his shots above the break or in the mid-range. This squad is really good above the break and just terrible everywhere else. They just force you off the line, so you can't shoot threes, and then you got to get other stuff, right? They can definitely focus on Middleton, but they don't double is the thing. So Middleton would have to go kind of Dame levels of crazy to get this. Bro, this is a blind under. What are we talking about? 39.5 PRA. I got to go under. And it's not even blind, honestly. It doesn't help, though, to put it into the betting model because of the fact that, like, we don't have any priors. We don't have numbers for him to look at. Like, let me just see real quick. Like, let's do Chris Middleton. When did he get hurt? He's been hurt for too long, yo. I'm not doing all this. I'm just putting Chris Middleton under. I don't need to waste y'all's time. Chris Middleton under is going on the bottom line here. As I pull that back up in 1 sec. So we're on this Indy and Milwaukee game, and I think this is like it's so high. This is insane. Chris, where you at, Chris? I said Kobe. All right, Chris, fat ass fingers. Middleton. I have fat fingers, not Chris Middleton. Over or under 39.5 PRA. What are we talking about? That's so high, yo. Minus 104 to the under. And it's 41.5 on MGM. People are betting the over on this with Dame out. Why? Because he didn't miss a shot last game. Well, how many did he take last game? Let me see real quick. Am I missing something? 57 last game. That's what I'm missing. 41 minutes, and that was with double OT by the bye. Like, I don't think this dude can play 41 minutes like that again. He's always hurt. 29 shots. Dame was basically out of that game anyway. So 29 shots. They don't trust anybody. And he made how many of them? 16. That's a really good field goal percentage for Chris. How many threes did he hit? He took 9 threes, and he made where'd it go? He made 4 of them. He took how many free throws? He took 6 free throws. That's not his game either. Indy does foul a lot, though. He will probably get another 6. But how do you project him at 40? Like, how? How? He did it against the Knicks. He got 40 PRA against the Knicks on Christmas. But that was with people, right? Giannis was probably in that game. Yeah, Giannis was in that game. So, I mean, you take some of this stuff off of him, man. Indy's defense is so terrible. I'm still going with it. I'm putting a half a unit. I get minus 104 on Chris. Anybody with me? Yeah, fade Middleton. Free Sauce is with me. Carlos is with me. Yeah, all right, good. I got the squad riding on the under with Chris Middleton. Let's fade Chris. Hashtag fade Chris. We on that today. 10 potential assists is pretty impressive last game, though. The rebound, let me look at rebound chances too for him real quick. Let me go actually into the box score right quick. I'm just being super as diligent as I can. If he had like 15 freaking rebound chances, then it is what it is. But Jalen's getting going, y'all. I hope you got the Knicks game on. Jalen's about to be on one today. I'm sorry I didn't bet it with y'all, but like him being on one isn't something I want to always have to like bank on. Can Maxey hit a 3 to give? Yes, we got Kyle Lowry about to hit, bro. 17 rebound chances. All right, 17 rebound chances makes sense. Look at Bobby Portis getting the touches. 78 touches for Bobby. 17 rebound chances, and he pulled down a good amount of them. I mean, okay, I'm being a little bit drastic on him, but if you get under 41.5 on MGM at minus 120, that's a great play. I'm going to take that. Minus, because the 41.5 is also a little bit higher. You should have. I hope I didn't talk you off of it, Carlos. I wasn't saying it's a bad bet. I was saying for me, I don't like having to bank on somebody going off like that. But let's see here. Kawhi, I don't even have props for, so I don't know why he's in here still. Get out of here, Kawhi, and get healthy soon or something, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if you will be anymore, fam. As soon as we get Norm Powell props, holler at me, please. And then I just went for the oh, I'm sorry, I'm not even on this game. I'm on the wrong one. But yeah, as soon as I'm still saying that. As soon as we get the props for Norm Powell, let your boy know. Under 41.5 if you can get it on MGM. That's a really good number. And you can still get minus, that's crazy. Minus 104 to the no, it's minus 120 the under when you take it 41.5. But minus 120 the under, fine. Minus 120 on MGM for Chris. We'll go 0.5 units on that. Give that the green check. And move the hell on, because I know y'all wanted to talk about Obi as well. Let me take a look at some Obi stuff. Hold on, let me see. We got Chris, and we got to take a look at Hallie as well, right? Just trying to move as fast as I can, so I'm not keeping y'all waiting. All right, let's look at Obi, not Kobe, Obi Toppin and Halliburton, and see some of these. You're not going to get PG at 20.5 anymore, Noah. That's a problem, right? Like if you have a PG 20.5, fine. I think you're still probably good because you got no Kawhi. But if you are going to see that at like 24.5, all good. I'm out, yo. Bobby scoring 25. All right. I mean, no shade to the Bobby bet. He turned it on at the end of that last game, right? But he was terrible in the first 2.5 quarters of that last game, and then he pulled it on. JB, another one. Yeah, Jalen popping off. Here we go. Knicks coming home with a 3-1 victory. Yeah, I've been fading PG Halliburton points and rebounds. Definitely, I'm scared of the assist. Like he's still going clean off. I want to look at him, and I want to look at Pat Bev. Like I think it's time to take some Pat Bev overs, y'all. I don't get mad at me. I'm just saying, like I think we got to take some overs. The rebounds, homie went off last game. This is what I was looking at when I wanted to take it last game. 4.5, and you get plus 120. How many minutes? The minutes are scattered. 13.5, 20.9, and 17.5 for Obi. So I can't even comfortably put him at 15, can I? But 4.5 or plus money. What are we talking about? On the season, he averaged 4. In this series, he's averaging in the last 3. This series of 3 games. Yeah, 5, 6, 8. That's 19 in 3 games, which is about 6 a game. In this series. Now, the rebound chances for Obi, let's look at that right quick. If we look at, I'm still right here on players, tracking data, rebounding, and this is all on NBA advanced stats, making it nice and easy. I go to team equals Indy, and the rebound chances for Obi, not Obias, just Obi Toppin, 8.3, getting 6.3 on 8.3. It's not great. Let me pull up this game log. So this is the last game where he did get a bunch of them. And did he play much in OT? Let me just see his rebound chances real quick. So Obi had 7 rebound chances to get 6 boards. That's scary. That's scary high, and feels like should be regression coming from that number, right? Whenever I see this number at 8.3 to get 6.3, that's 76% rebound chance percentage. That's high. That's really, really high, even for a big man. Like Obi, if you consider him that. 17 minutes, the run just isn't quite there. And I don't know that this Bucks team will be looking to do much outside of the half-court offense. Like, I don't know that they're going to be running in transition without Dame. That's the dude that ran in transition for them. If you have a Chris Middleton-led offense, now you're talking about a lot more, a lot slower pace. Damn, we couldn't get Kyle to get that. Tyrese Maxey hooping now. He didn't get his first quarter stuff, though, did he? That's tough. Yeah, he definitely did not. He's at 9 right now, but that's tough. All good. Rebound chances. Yeah, so I just don't think it's good for the rebound chances, honestly. I think we're too far gone on that for Obi at 4.5, even at plus money on the season, averaging 4 in 21 minutes. And I don't know that you can guarantee 21 minutes in this game. If you put him at 17 minutes, this number is going to look a lot worse. Plus 120 ain't going to be it. I'm not even going to need to put it up on this sheet right here. I just already know Obi's a pass. So let me look at Hallie, and then I'm going to move on to the other bet that we wanted to talk about in here. I want to talk about Pat Bev. Brolo as well, I got on the upcoming. So let me make sure I just have those dudes on upcoming, because take a look at Siakam too. I can see Free Sauce jumping in with a look for Siakam. So Obi is a pass. Let me put that on the bottom line. And then we got Halliburton assists. We could do some first quarter stuff. I don't have Pat Connaughton props up, so I can't look at that yet, but maybe his assist, Brolo. And then I know I want to put Pat Bev in here before I move on from this game. All right. Looking at Tyrese, 4.5 boards or 5.5. No, thank you. I'll look at that in a sec, though. The dimes, right? All right. The dimes for Tyrese. And if y'all haven't heard Tyrese's voice just change in the middle of an interview, it's hilarious. 1 second, he's like, sounds kind of like he's like Rough Riders a little bit. And then like all of a sudden he's like, sounds like he's kind of up here a little bit. It's wild. All right. Just Google Tyrese Halliburton voice change. It's kind of like, the hell is going on here? 10.9 on the season in 32.5 minutes. And that's the other thing about taking these Pacers players is that Rick Carlisle's rotations are just kind of like whatever the hell Rick Carlisle feels like they should be. There's no rhyme or reason to them. Sometimes 10.9 dimes in that amount of minutes. And then in these series, he's up at consistently at 37 in the series, right? So I'll put him at 36 minutes on the filter here. 36 minutes at least, still over in just 3 of 6 against this team. On the season, he's at 12.7, right? So you get plus 108 for him to get to 12, but I don't know, fam. I mean, how many potential did he have in the last one? 26 potential assists in this last game. He's averaging about 22 against this team in this series so far, as you can see right here. Let me make it easier for y'all to see. Head-to-head in these last 3, 20, 21, and 26 potentials. On the season against this team, 25 potentials. But look at how low that number of success rate is here for that. So 3 of 6, this is right on the line, dude. This ain't going to cut it for me because I think even if we give him the minutes. So on the season, averaging, let's put him at 12.7 and use that number, but I still don't think we're going to get an edge here. So I'm going to do Hallie. We got him at assists. We got him at 11.5. We got the under is minus 130. You can get minus 118 to the under, and you can get plus 108 on FanDuel for the over. So let me put that in. Under is going to be minus 120. I already forgot what I said. Minus 118. All right, that's even better. Minus 118 on the under, and then the over is 108 on FD. Minutes average on the season was 32.5. And let me undo this so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Hallie right now and putting him into this basic model. 32 minutes on the season, right? I just want to make sure I'm not screwing this up, y'all. On the season, averaging 32.6, which is what I said, 32.5, whatever. 32.6. 32.6 minutes. Prop average was, what do we say on the season in his normal minutes? 10.9, right? Oh, it's scary. 10.9 on the season. Projected minutes, we're going to give him 36 like I got here. And the prob under, okay, the book prob under is minus 118. So that is going to be about the same here. Minus 118 gives me 54% implied probability. So the under is 54. The over at plus 108 is going to be like 49, right? Plus 108 is a 48% implied probability. So 48% means that the edge is to the over because you get the plus money there, but it's right at 10% to the edge. I don't love having to do it because the blowout possibility in this game is also there now without Dame and Giannis. So it's a pass for me on Tyrese, but I guess if you're going to play an assist prop for him, you would play the over. If you want to look at the points real quick, I know. Let's see. Guru from Gangstar. That's a good shout, Mike. Let's see real quick. Did Terrence Mann points come up? So we got some stuff coming up for this team right here. Let me look at Props Madness. They're always faster. But I am going to finish this Milwaukee and Indy game too. Do we got stuff coming up though for these? Okay, we got see this. Now we're at 24.5 points. Did we lose the assist prop for James too? Hopefully that stuff was still up and y'all hit it while we were on it. Yep, we got 8.5 now. So we lost that for James the Beard. Russ does get a bit more without Kawhi in there. So I'll come right back to this game. Let me finish this up. Tyrese, if you're going to hit the assist, is probably an over. If you got the points for Tyrese, it's at 18.5. I've been fading it too. It's at 17.5 on some books. I've been more of a fade on his points and rebounds as of late. He got a dumb amount of boards in this last game. What did he get? Hold up. H to H. 10 rebounds in this last game. What's the double-double for Hallie? That might be a look too, because 11.5 assists. You're not going to get a good bet on his double-double, right? Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Let's look at Hallie double-double. To record a double-double is minus 227. Nah. Nothing there. The triple-double is crazy thought, though. 12 plus 1,200 after he just did that last game, though, right? And so, yeah, because he had 16 assists, 10 boards. That's crazy that he got the boards, honestly. So the PRA for him is at 34.5. I'm honestly leaning over, but the blowout potential kind of makes me move past this Tyrese stuff, to be honest. So I'm going to move past that. I'm going to look at Pat Bev. Pat Bev is similar here to how we don't really have like anything to look at for him. I'll put Malik Beasley on here. That might be a good look, Derek Reyes. Let me add him to the bottom line. Pat Bev, though, is just getting minutes, which is crazy. Like, he is the backup point guard at this point, and now he's like going to keep getting these minutes. Everything scrolling that we've hit is on the bottom line. Hopefully you can get to it, knowing that knowing that a lot of this stuff for the Clippers game changed, right? Pat Bev, 9.5 points. Last game, he scored 11 in 42 minutes. This is what I mean. Like, Pat Bev is in there as one of these staples. I mean, we know Glenn Rivers loves Pat Bev, so. He took 5 damn shots last game. What's happening? 5 shots, and he's still at this number. What was his potential assists at? Let me go back up to assists so we can get that up at the top. Let me look at the assist for him is at 5.5. Like, you don't get 5.5 assists against this team, even if you're a really good starting point guard, to be honest. Like, the Pacers do not give up assists. Let me put Pat Bev in here real quick. And this is courtside pal. Patrick Beverly. Putting him in Courtside Pal, which is really helpful. Link in the description of the video if you're not familiar yet with Courtside Pal. Definitely would use that over like team defense versus position. I would do team defense versus player type, which is this what Courtside Pal does for us. So looking at the points for him, yeah, he's going to be able to score against his team a little bit better, even though his shooting profile is much better than his scoring profile, because he's also shooting around the rim. He's not taking very many threes. That's why he's the type of dude that can score a bit more, because he gets a bit more of those floaters. Let me show you what I mean. This is propsmadness.com. So Props Madness is going to be able to show me a little bit more of like the shot chart for him, which is what I want to start with. So for Pat Bev, he's shooting above the break, but then he also gets into the lane right here. You can see 50% of his shots are from either in the floater range or right next to the bucket. 27% come from top of the key. So this team is going to be a top 3-point shooting team, and then a bottom 5 to 3 team everywhere else on the floor. So if Pat Bev is getting in some shots closer to the basket, now we're talking about him probably being good for some points, to be honest. I'm not sure if anybody has Pat Bev feelings, but I think he's probably a decent play. Let me look at the rebounds from last game. I'm going to go to this game log. Am I on game 3 here? I'm inside the game log. I'm looking at player tracking data. And for Pat Bev, he had 11 rebound chances, right? What's his rebounds at again? The boards are at 5.5 for plus money. He had 11 rebound chances to pull down just 2 last game, though. That's crazy. Just 2 in the last game on 11 rebound chances. What happened, Pat? Pat had 11 rebound chances, and he pulled down 1 of them, or 2 of them, rather. That's not uninspiring, Patrick. Uninspiring. Looking at the potential assists for him last game, where he only got 1 dime. I think we still got to go under on the dimes. Like, I don't care if Dame is in or not. 4 potential assists last game with Dame like hobbled and having to give the ball up hella. How many touches did Bev have last game? Looking at this again. Pat Bev had 60 touches last game. Dame had 68, though, so there might be a bit more coming. 49 passes. Yeah, I mean, that's second to Bobby Poe. What is Bobby Portis doing as the damn point guard in this game? Like, do we take Bobby Portis assists or something? Why is he making so many passes? Plus 145 for him to get 3. He had 3 potential assists despite all the passes he's making. He's not setting anybody up to score. But Bobby Poe assists is kind of a look if he's going to have the ball in his hands that much. At plus 145, that might be a look, yo. Bobby Portis without Giannis this season. Over in just 3 of 12. And how many minutes? 30 minutes, which I think you project him at about 40 in this one because it's just he and the Chris Middleton show. But he still only had 3 potential assists and no dimes in this last game against Indy, who doesn't give up assists because they don't double off of him. So he might just be better for the PR. I mean, the rebounds were mad high. But he might just be better for the points than anything if you were going to take an over on Bobby Poe. Even though he only barely got over last time. I don't know. I'm thinking an under for Bobby Poe PRA more than anything, or like PA maybe. 22.5 points and assists. It's all scary because Bobby Pose, if he takes another 20 shots or whatever, then that's a no for me. But yeah, we're on the fade Chris train over here, Daryl. So I think that's what we'd look at. Let me just compare Malik Beasley for a minute and see what we do with that, because Derek was bringing up Malik Beasley, who I don't have props for on this site. Do I have it on this site? Malik. Really? We don't got Malik Beasley props because they're scared and he's a bench player. So we can't look at Malik Beasley props. I don't even know what he's been doing, to be honest with you. I feel like he's been a non-factor, right? Like I haven't even seen his name called, bro. Malik Beasley last 3 games. He did get 29 minutes in game 1 and they didn't like what they saw. Right? Because then he got 7 minutes last game and 10 in the last one. I mean, I don't know how you keep him on the bench, though. Like the point of bringing him up, I'm assuming, was like he's gonna have to be a go-to, but they do not trust him at all. It's all Pat Bev at this point. So even if you get Malik Beasley props live, I don't know how many minutes you're gonna see from him. Yeah, Zubac, we lost all that value, huh? Let's see what happens as these Clippers props keep coming up. I'm gonna finish up here. The problem is I can't put this stuff into a model and get any kind of certainty around it. So you just got to put out the feeler and go. I mean, Pat Bev assist is too high. Like, you don't get assists against this team. I was in the middle of showing you. This is Courtside Pal once again. Pat Bev, player assists, team rank versus player type. So how does Indy do at limiting his assists? I thought they would be better, honestly. I thought they would be better because if you look at Damian Lillard, real quick, who's like much more of a true point guard than Pat Bev, and you go to Dame assists, playmaking, right? They give up like the 5th fewest. So if you put Pat Bev into more of Dame's style, now he's not going to be a pull-up shooter or anything, but as far as playmaking go, he's going to have the ball in his hands a good amount. He's probably going to get some passes for secondary assists. So I still think Pat Bev under assists is a good play for real. And I think the RA is a good play still under for him, even with the amount of minutes he's going to get. Like, you put him at 40 minutes and still like a pretty constant under for him. Head to head in this series, he had 15 in game 1. And since then he's at 7 and 3. I mean, and this was with Dame going off and Indy shooting like absolute dog crap. I think you got to go under on the RA for him. You can get, I'm not giving out a points bet, minus 102 at 10.5 right here. If you consider this, let me go back to Pat Bev real quick on Courtside Pal. Now I got him up and I'm looking at rebounds against this team. Indy's about 18th and limiting rebounds to his type of player. He had 11 rebound chances last game though. And only pulled down the 2, which is like almost kind of an anomaly. And you think he'd get a bit more in this one. Golly, man, this is tough for him. I can't find an edge and I can't put him in the model because I don't have any actual numbers to base this on. So I got to pass on Pat Bev. Let's see if any more injury reports came out that will impact me. Okay, now we got Amir Coffee starting for sure. All right, let's start to see if we got any of this stuff real quick for the Clips. All right, for the Clips, and I will come back to this game, but Malik Beasley doesn't have anything up. I'm passing on Obi because I don't trust his minutes. I took an under on Chris. I'm terrified to do anything with Bobby Portis the way he's been shooting, to be honest with you. I know he takes a lot of his shots where they're the worst, right? Like 60 or 50, what is it, 52% of his shots come inside the 3-point line. But the fact that some of them come outside is a little bit scary. So I'm going to move on real quick, see what we have for Clippers props. Let's see what we got here. Norm Powell. Yeah. Thank you, Nero. At least you feel my lean right now. At least like that's where I'm leaning. For Pat Bev, he's just gonna keep getting minutes. That's what we care about. Norm Powell. We don't have a Mayor Coffee yet. Oh. I'll get a Mere Coffee without Kawhi. Let me put him in here. I doubt he's even going to come up on here yet. Props.cash takes a little bit long sometimes. Still a great channel. I would still recommend using it. I got a code for y'all, LYB24. If you want 25% off your first month of using props.cash. Seems like a good time to use it. You got another month, and you can decide if you want to get it for one more month for the finals. But right now, I think it's a really good product to have for props.cash. You see me using it every day. Before I was even a partner with them, I was already using them for all of these, right? Let's see if we can get this on props.cash once more for Clippers and Mavs. All right. Where you at, Norm? All right, Norm's down here. Do we get Amir Coffee on here yet? Not yet, but Amir Coffee's coming. Looks like he's at 6.5 PR. That's wild. Norm without Kawhi this season. Points about PR. Up at about 16 per game. That's tough. We lost all the... it was 11.5 last game. We really lost everything that we could have gotten value on for Norm. I do not trust him, honestly, at that number. I trusted him decidedly at the number of 11.5, but I don't know about with that. So real quick, do Norm Powell with and without Kawhi this season? I already showed you Zoo. This isn't helpful, right? Like, it doesn't go up. He actually loses 0.2 points. He plays 1.5 more minutes. It just ain't it with Norm Powell. Amir Coffee is the dude because he gets into the starting lineup. So he gets 10 more minutes. He gets 5 more points. He doubles his points. He quadruples his rebounds. And he's taking 4 more shots than when he is playing in the games with Kawhi, right? So if we put him at 28.5 minutes, did he play that in the first game? Let me just pull up him up on Props Madness while we wait for him to come through on props.cash. Come on, Amir. We want to bet on Amir Coffee. We want to bet on you, Amir. Amir Coffee right here. All right, so we got without Kawhi this season, right? He goes up to a 10 out of 15 on the PR. We on points. We're just on points. Points and rebounds. Still 10 out of 15, averaging 14, and this line is at 9.5, right? What did he do in game 1? Game 1 is right here versus Dallas. So he played 25 minutes and had 6 points in that game. Looks like no rebounds, right? Can we? And I don't have rebounds up here. Okay, that's fine. They don't do rebounds quite as much on Props Madness. Let me try to refresh one more time and see if we can get that. But let me go to the game log from game 1 because that's going to be helpful. Let's see how we're looking at the half with this Knicks squad. I know y'all are following, but J Hart has the 7 boards already. OG has 9 boards. Golly. Wow. Okay. Hardenstein, no on the boards, yes on the points, which is kind of what we were saying. Is that like with the way that this works, I don't like his boards against this team, but I would take the over on the points. He's at 6. He needs 3 more to get over 8.5. Jalen Brunson is a freaking monster. I'm glad I stayed away from DDV. I just didn't like the amount of minutes he was getting. He only saw 13 minutes in the first one. Bogey only played a minute because he got hurt. And now we might see a pretty good line for maybe some Miles McBride. What's his live line at? Let me just look at that real quick while I got y'all here. Looking at the live points line from Deuce McBride, because like if we got no more Bogey in there, who else is scoring off the bench for this team? Player points. Where we at for Deuce? 11.5 for him to get 4 more points. Like, that's a pretty good look. I think we got to bet a live over on Deuce McBride. He's only taking 5 shots, but let's say he takes 5 more and he needs to hit 1 or 2 of them to get 4 more points. Well, I guess 2 of them, right? He needs 4 more points. Is that 3.5 more points? Sorry. For Deuce, 11.5, 4 more points for plus money. How many more shots do you like him? Do you like him to take 5 more shots? Then he needs to make 2 of them. And that's a 40% clip. Like, and he's been shooting threes. I think Deuce McBride is a really good overlook on the points because of the fact that there's Dante doesn't seem to be doing too much. And the fact that we have no more Bogey, you're going to get Deuce as like now the other dude up top playing alongside JB when they need offense. I think that's a good look. Yeah, Sean Fallon knows what I'm talking about. So I'm with that. Harden over 19.5 points. I'm definitely going with Harden points now more than the assists. Now that we missed out on the 7 assists, which was only there earlier, I think the points is a good look for Jay Harden as well. So I'm just trying to finalize if I got some Amir Coffee stuff, and I was going to jump into that. In the wrong game. I'm going to jump into the game log here in a minute to see what Amir did in the first game. We still don't have him up on props.cash, but we know that he is a bet right now. All right, I'm pulling up Amir Coffee, the game log from this game one, and supporting myself here so I can keep going. Let's see, game one was the one that he played without Kawhi. So I'm in the game log here for game one, going to box score. Looking at his just counting stats, 2 for 7, but he got 7 shots, right? So he only had 6 points, but he hit he hit both his threes is what it was. He missed everything from everywhere else and didn't get to the line. 3 rebounds. Zubac is the dude that we like to get boards for sure. PG at 24.5 points can F off. And then James Harden at 19.5 points can probably F on. I think that's probably a pretty good look. So I'm back in this I'm going to go to player tracking because I want to finish the rebound stuff for Amir. 6 rebound chances, uninspiring. Everything uninspiring. It's the playoffs. And just because he gets way more doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to get it in this game. But 7 shots, man. 7 shots, and 3 of them were threes. Is that right? 4 of them were threes. So only 3 of them were inside the arc, the paint, because that's where he's shooting a lot from. Let's bring him up on Props Madness for a minute so we can see how he might do against this team. I'm just going to go to points so I can look up at more stuff. So he's shooting from the corners. He shoots 30% of his shots from the corners. This Mavs team is bad against the 3 in the corners. So you can see right here, hopefully y'all can see whoops. Oh, dude. You see how fat my fingers are, bro? This is crazy. There we go. God damn. All right. Sorry, my bad. Pulling up Amir Coffee once more. So now I'm thinking 3-point shots, right? Because this is where he's shooting from. He took 4 of his 7 shots from 3. The corner stuff is where Dallas is bad. Spot up, they're middle of the pack, whatever, but it's where they're giving up points from. The corner is someplace that you can score against this team. Amir Coffee is going to be a bit of a forgotten man. His threes are at 1.5 or plus money. Really? But you get plus 170 on DK and Bet365. Holy hell. Do we like that? Do we like Amir Coffee to hit some threes in this game? Is that terrifying to anybody else? Amir Coffee, 1.5 threes, plus 170. I'm trying to look at stuff with and without Kawhi for him. Let me pull that back up. Amir Coffee without Kawhi is averaging 4.5 threes. So I think we can bank on him taking 4 threes. Can we bank on him making 2 of them? That's crazy. He's not a 50% three-point shooter, right? So even with that against this team, like, I don't know. I don't think I'm good with. I'm good on the Amir Coffee stuff. I just can't rely on. I'm just trying to see if I miss any. Yeah, we already know, but I don't think I can rely on the usage for Amir Coffee just because he's going to be starting for dude. So I got to pass on Coffee, even though he is the most glaringly obvious. My stats go up without Kawhi on the floor. Like, I got to pass on that. So I'm going to move it along here. Let's look at Zubac again one more time. Now he's at 14.5 points. Hopefully you got it earlier at the 12.5 when I took it. The rebounds, 10.5, and it's bumping up on MGM. It's 11.5. You get 10.5. Without Kawhi, though, what do we say he does without Kawhi on the boards front? 10.8. The rebound chances have been there for him this series. I think the PR is still good. Oh, man, that's high. Without Kawhi in the season, 6 of 13, averaging 26.5 minutes, though, right? If you give him, let me just take out Kawhi and give him the 32 he's been playing. So he played in the first 2 games. He butted up against it because the points didn't hit, but the rebounds did. I think the rebounds is a better start for Zoo. 33, 33, 32 minutes. Let's give him 32 minutes on the season to see what that does for him real quick. I know I did this earlier. This is field goal attempts, my bad. 32 minutes on the season. Played Dallas 3 times this season, all in this series, though. 2 of 3 on the series. Only 8 boards last game when Dallas shot like 65% from the field. Like they went crazy. But he averages 12 in 32 minutes, right? And the rebound chances have been high. I think the rebounds are still a good play for Zoo at 10.5. I'm be honest with you. I don't think Dallas is going to shoot as well as they did last game. That was the outlier for sure, but it's still a bit scary without Kawhi because that defense plummets for this Clippers squad. Let me show you what I mean real quick. Clippers defensive rating with and without Kawhi this season. Yeah, a little bit better. My bad. I'm wrong. But let's see, Clippers opponent points per game. They actually have a worse defensive rating with Kawhi in the 15 games. The opponents still score 5 more points without him because they play so much faster without him too. All right. I got to pass on that. I'm going to say Zubac rebounds though, if you want that. I'll put him in here real quick. Let me put up Zoo rebounds in here. All right. Zubac. I'm going to put rebounds. This is our handy dandy, super basic prop. What am I trying to say here? Prop calculator, we'll call it. It's a model of sorts. Line is at 10.5. The over, what's the best number on the over for Zubac rebounds? Is 10.5 minus 118 on DK. Okay. Minus 118 to the over at 10.5, and the under is plus 104. Actually, you can get. All right, plus 104 to the under. The minutes average on the season, let's put him at 27 because it's basically what he averaged without Kawhi. And then we'll say prop average was, I already forgot, excuse me. Going in here, I'm going to take out the minutes and just put in without Kawhi real quick on the season. So without Kawhi on the season, he's at 10.8 boards in the 27 minutes that I gave him. So 10.8 rebounds. In this game, we expect him to play 32, right? Yeah, 30. So we'll put him at 32 minutes in the projection, which would put him at about 12.8 rebounds according to the projection. Is it worth it with the numbers, though? Let's see real quick. For it's all the stuff that you can see highlighted in yellow here. Let me make sure nope, I'm fucking up. Let me make this one yellow. Apologies. Take this off. Come on, trackpad. Work for your boy. Make this just hold up. All right. So this is what I'm looking at right here is the yellow with Zoo. And so you can see it's a 64% probability to the over. With the odds, though, does that still work for us? So the odds for this right here at the prop under is plus 104, right? So the plus 104 in the odds gives us 49% win probability according to the books. And then the over is minus 118. Which is, I already forgot that, but I'm gonna memorize these, I promise. 54% right there is the probability to the over. So that gives us a 17.8% edge right there. And I do think it's a pretty good look. Let me just see one more thing. Let's put Zubac in here for his boards overall. See what this does for us in Courtside Pal. If we look at his rebounds in Courtside Pal against the Dallas Mavs, still pretty good, 11th, but that's also on the season. Like, one thing to keep in mind here, this is a good moment in time to show you the Fantasy Pros if y'all aren't familiar with it yet. FanDuel Fantasy Pros. This is helpful because if you look at centers on the season for Dallas, yes, they give up a pretty good amount. Like 15 is a little bit worse than middle of the pack. But if you look at like since they made that trade for Gafford, it's been a lot better, right? Now they're way closer to limiting rebounds, right? So it actually went down. Now they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th best at limiting center rebounds since they got Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. So that's a big reason why you want to, although Courtside Pal is helpful, it's for the season as a whole, and you can't really break it down yet by a recent amount of games, but you can do that for FanDuel Fantasy Pros. Both the links are in the description of the video, so I'll make sure you check those out. But yeah, it's like basically for Zubac, like he had a very good matchup at the beginning of the season against his team. Now it's like not the best matchup. And you can see like Courtside Pal still thinks that like it's like 11th best, which is about what it is on FanDuel Fantasy Pros for them against centers. And Zubac is a clear center, right? But yeah, I think the over is a better play for Zoo, but it's a stay away from me on the rebounds in the event that this Mavs team kind of runs away with it again without Kawhi. And if they don't miss too many shots at home, which their role players are way better. So I think if you want to take an over for Zoo on the rebounds and you get it at minus 118, go for it. I kind of want to be honest, but I'm out on that one right now. I got a bunch of other bets playing. I will look at, we said Terrence Mann. Here's Amir Coffee. This makes stuff easier, but here we got Terrence Mann look as well. Let me start by throwing him in StatMuse and seeing what we think about what he did this season with and without Terrence Mann, with and without Kawhi this season. Actually loses minutes. goes up by 1.5 points. Not much else is better, right? Everything is pretty much the same. Like Kawhi going to go Kawhi, but other dudes are just kind of playing around him. And then James Harden and PG do a lot of the damage there. I think James Harden points is the best play of this sort of like with and without Kawhi stuff. He doesn't really go up without Kawhi on the points. So that's tough as well. Man, why are people not impacted by Kawhi's presence or lack thereof? That's crazy to me. Let me see if I'm missing any other bets that y'all want to look at real quick, and then we're going to go up a little bit. Yes, sir. We got the Isaiah Hardenstein tracker. Oh, yeah, I do like PJ Washington. Noah McDonald brought that up. I was on him last game, y'all. Like, I really liked PJ last game, and he just got his ass kicked out of the game, and that really dicked us, didn't it? So for PJ, I liked the rebounds a little bit more last game, to be honest. They're minus 134 at 5.5. It's been 5.5 the whole series, but now we lost all the juice. Yeah, that's annoying. Minus 134 ain't gonna be it. On the season for him, he's averaged about 5.3. I mean, there's nobody everybody's playing. You still got, so let's see. Let's do the last 30. Okay, so this is all with Dallas, because he's played now about like 32 games with Dallas or so. So I do think that that's a better use of our time here. Is look at the last 30. Everybody's playing, so there's nothing I can change here. Head to head, it's about 50%, honestly, and he's probably going to be back at this number again. So 17.5 minus 112 is the best number you can get. Man, for PJ, like, I still like it. I do. I mean, he was on route to hitting it last game. This is still just really, really close at this point, and there's nothing changing here. So let's do last 30, right? Because I know he went through a tough shooting stretch, but like at least that's with this team. So let me put him in here real quick for points, rebounds. He's over in 19 of 30, and PR, he's over in 16 of 30. So it looks like he's more likely to get the boards. Let me put him in courtside pal real quick and see what happens for his points versus rebounds versus team. All right, so PJ Washington, I'm gonna start here. This is so annoying. PJ Washington, I'm gonna pull him up on courtside pal. I'm gonna start with his points and see how he does against his team. His shooting profile versus the Clips. 24th and 13th versus his scoring profile. So the type of scorer he is, maybe there's a little bit more success. The rebounds versus the Clips. 18th, so not much of an edge either way there for dude. Let's pull up his rebound chances this series. Dallas, the rebound chance for PJ have been at 12, so that's why I like him to get the 6 consistently. You know, I like, what are his shot attempts at, just to see if he's adding anything constructive on the points. And he's played 34, 35 minutes. He would have played 36, 37 minutes in this last game, except for he got punched in the chest after shoving Kyrie like an idiot. Or, I'm sorry, Russ like an idiot. But he's still taking 10 shots a game. And that's what I was relying on last game. It's like, why wouldn't I hit that again? He didn't even hit a 3 in this last game. Went 0 for 4. What are the threes at for him? I know someone brought that up as a potential bet. Minus 122 on the threes. Averaging, in this series, he's averaging how many attempts from deep? 4, 4, and 7 from deep. So like if he's taking 7, then I love him to get 2. At 1.5, that's a good bet. If he's taking 4, I hate it, obviously. I don't want him to have to go 3 for 4, but I'm going back to PJ on the PR. Like that shit was hitting for us last game, bro. And then he just, like I said, made another knucklehead play and got kicked out of the game. But yeah, let's is Isaiah scoring again? No, not yet. But he's we're at 8-point deficit here. I know we got some Philly fans. Look at OG stealing those boards, dude. That's crazy. Embiid at 16 points. Maxey's still doing his thing with the points. Did Kyle go over yet? Yes, Kyle went over for us. 6 points and assists. Nice little third quarter cash. Quiche there from Kyle Lowry. Good look. Who brought that to me? I forgot, but 10.5 points and assists was a great look for Kyle Lowry. I'm putting PJ on here again. I have no reason not to. I took him last game. It was going to hit. He made some dumb moves, and he got tossed from the game, but he would have had another 5 minutes on the floor. So we're putting PJ in here, as I knew I was probably going to, because I can't stay away. I really like PJ's game, man. Say what you want. I just love PJ Washington as a player, and that's a part of this. So do with that what you will. If you think that's not a good enough reason to take somebody out of bed, I get it. But I'm taking him over. I'm just going to do the 17.5 points and rebounds again, because I think the points are a really good bet, and the rebounds are something he's been doing consistently. Consistent. 10 field goal attempts, 12 rebound chances, 6 rebounds, 12 points. Boom, boom, boom. That's what he's been. It's been pretty much clockwork. So we're going to take that for the minus, because the points and rebounds together gives us a little better juice. Minus 112 on DK. Let me throw him in here. because I don't want to be irresponsible. So I'm putting PJ in here for the PR 17.5. The under odds are minus 108 and the over odds are minus 112. All right, minus 108 minus 108 for the over, and the I'm sorry, that's the under. The over is minus 112, the under is minus 108. The minutes average with this team in the last 30 is 32.7. Good, because he's going to get more than that. 32.7. The prop average for the PR is 18.1. All right. I mean, it's barely over in that amount of time, but we're going to get a little bit more time. So the projected minutes tonight are going to be 35 because that's what he's been playing. And now we see the prop. Okay, so the prop under implied probability at minus 108 is going to be about 50%, right? I think I already had that in here. Minus 108 is going to be about 50%. I just want to make sure. Minus 108 is 52%. I told you I'm going to remember this at some point. 52 to the under at minus 108. 52 at minus 112. That should be about what? 53% also. Or this 53%. So 53% to the over gives us about a 7. Yeah, it's not enough of an edge. It's not. It's really not. With the juice that we're getting for it, with as much of a 50-50 bet as this ain't worth it for PJ Washington. I got to listen to the numbers here. Apologies. And I'm realizing that I just really like him as a player and I want to take it, but he's not good enough in this situation for me to take it. So I can't go over on PJ. I'm passing on him. Respect to anybody that wants to bet on PJ Washington in this game. I have no qualms with it. I got to pass on it. Let's see if I missed anything else. Damn, Hart is not getting those points yet, huh? That's okay. He's taking the shots, and that's what we like to see. Let me keep it moving here, and I will see a couple other things. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna put this. If you're talking about the odds implication tool here, I'm gonna put this in the under betting tools in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord yet, the link is in the description of the video. I recommend jumping in there. Gonna plug it one more time. If you'll see it on the bottom line, that props.cash is running right now with a 25% off code for your first month. So it means it's like a $15 for 1 month trial essentially for you to take on the props.cash subscription if you want it, and use LYB 24 and you can go ahead and see that. All right, I got another one for Gafford under from Rock Beast. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. And bottom line has the stuff we bet. The green check marks mean we hit it. The hand up means pass. Norm Powell I didn't look at, and I'll look at Gafford and I'll move on from this game and get a little bit of the Phoenix and Minnesota game in there as well. All right. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we're having a good time in the Discord, fam. It's a good look. Like, bro, I forgot to say I appreciate everybody in there because I needed like a 2-day break, like a day and a half break from like Thursday, let's say Friday night into today. I was just like, yo, I gotta like go hug a tree or play with some grass or something because I can't just be looking at the screens all day. Nobody missed a beat. Like, shout out everybody. I don't even need to name names. Like, just shout out everybody in the Discord because y'all keep it going and kept it moving. And I could not be more appreciative that people didn't need to wait for me. I jump in when I can, but like, bro, we got some pros in there doing some really good stuff. So I do want to look at T-Man. I do want to look at Gaff. And then I got to move on to the next game and finish up with Phoenix and Minnesota. All right. So for Gafford, yeah, I mean, he's going to be an under delight if it's at. So points and rebounds. He's only been healthy for one game, but when he got to 25.5 minutes, he still kind of went under, right? 12 PR in that last game. I don't like his splits here at all. I think if anything for Gafford, you're going under. In fact, you know what time is that Dallas game real quick, or the Phoenix game? It's at 6:30. I'm going to jump back on here with y'all for that game. And I'll probably do it. It's at 6:30 my time, 4 p.m. for Milwaukee, Indy. I'm going to finish up with the Clippers and Mavs. I really want to go watch my Knicks play, yo. Shout out, good reference, Pet the Furry Walls. Whenever you got mad anxiety or are on maybe too many hallucinogens, that's a good call. The stuff here for like I said, yeah. So I'm gonna finish up the this game here for the Clips. I'm gonna come back and do a little bit more live streaming in a few hours for the last two games here. All right, so I'll come back on maybe like a little bit before this Indy game. I'll come back on about 3:30 and finalize some bets there, and then run right into some of these Minnesota Phoenix bets as well. All right, so let me finish up with this Clippers game. Gafford is for sure more of an under than anything. That's a guarantee in these minutes. So he's played 30 as well, right? Let's just be due diligent about this, or diligent. You know what I mean? Minus 105 to the over. He's averaging 16 since he came to the squad, right? One thing I want to see though is how good is the Clips versus him. So let's put Gaff in here for a sec. Daniel Gafford versus the Clips. So we're looking at his points, rebounds, assists, points and rebounds. So points versus the Clippers. 16th as a scorer and shooter. The rebounds against the Clips, they're a pretty good rebounding team, man. Yeah, so 25th fewest rebounds against this squad that they give up. Head-to-head this season. So if you look at this, this is all with the Wizards, right? The only 3 games he's played against this team on this squad, he has gone pretty comfortably under. And obviously that's been the playoffs where he missed time because of injury. The 25.5 minutes is probably about what you expect for him. So in the last 30 with this team, he's averaging 21 minutes. And he's over in 17 to 30, averaging 16. So this is probably going to tell us to play the over, to be honest, if I put it into the tool real quick. Let me do Gaff real quick. Gafford, PR, right? Now, let me hold up real quick. Let me see the difference between the points and the rebounds. Points, 8.5. Rebounds, 5.5. So the over for the rebounds is even money, and that's about what he's averaging here. The points at 10, still pretty close. Let's put them together, though. 13.5. Minus 120, but we can get minus 105 for the over there. We can get minus 106 on the under. So there's some discrepancy between FanDuel and DraftKings that might help us out. Let's see. If we put him in here, 13.5 points and rebounds, I'm going to add him at this number is at, what did I just say? 13.5. The under odds are, I'm forgetting already, minus 106, and the over odds are minus 105. Minus 106 to the under, minus 105 to the over. I'm changing the music real quick because I need to change it for myself, bro. All right. Minutes average in that time frame with this dude, we said 21 minutes, right? So not very many. Last 30, 21 minute average with the squad. So we'll put 21 minutes in here. And then the prop average is 16, right? That's what we said. Averaging 16 right here on props.cash. So all this stuff is stuff that I would have to look up on 4 or 5 different websites without props.cash. I just wanted to give them my blessing one more time because this would take so much longer without them. So the projected minutes for tonight, I don't know why I would project 25. Let's give him 22. And this is where, if you haven't established the run, I'm going to get into that later. Establish the Run is an amazing website if you have an account for that as well. And what that does is it gets you some projections from ETR. These ETR projections for what they're going to be doing each game is spot the hell on. So, Dante. Boy, is Casper. That could go. We could take that as so many ways, bro. Knicks might as well be playing 4 guys to Dante on the court because he's Casper. Now, do you mean he is a pale white man, or do you mean he's acting like a ghost? All right, let me move on before I get myself in trouble. Book prop under at minus 106 and minus 105. Minus 106. 51.5%. Minus 105 might get us to 50. Yeah, 51. Okay, so 51% for both. 51 and 51 puts us at the edge for the over, obviously, for Gafford. If you put him at 22 minutes tonight, the way he's been playing 21, he's been averaging 16, and now it's at 13.5. So if you believe he's healthy, then you got some value to the over here at a 27.5 point edge that gives you. So everything that's happening here, I'll go over this more in the Discord, but everything that's happening that I'm putting in is just I want to know what the odds are for the game, what his minutes and prop average are for the season over as long of a period of time as I can look, and then what are his projected minutes. I'm putting 22 minutes in there as the projected minutes, but that does not mean that I got, necessarily the best look at it. That's what I'm looking at based on what his recent numbers have been. I think they want to play him as much as they can over the Rook, obviously, and Maxey Kleber hasn't given them much of anything at all. Let me look at Maxey real quick. His minutes in this series have been 15, 16, 27, 26. So yeah, I mean, he's been getting pretty good minutes, but I don't think he's been giving him much, right? He's not shooting well. He's not rebounding well. So they want Gafford in there. If you I would stay away from an under on Gafford. Let me put that in there as as my main point, right? I would stay away from the Gafford unders, because I think that's a little bit misconstrued by the fact that he wasn't getting minutes because he was hurt. If he is healthy in this game, and I haven't heard much, I don't want to make y'all look at this, but like, type it in, bro. Like, you should be looking for this type of stuff. Even if you just Google it real quick, like, and I should probably put Daniel Gafford in here. Yeah, we don't have anything right now on the news front for Gafford injury, but you should be watching some stuff like the after game like reports and stuff like that. That's going to let you know. So let me say right now, I'm gonna pass on Gafford. I got a bunch of stuff in here already, but I will say that like he's a better over than he is an under if you're going to take it. So I'll just write that in here real quick, and then I'll look at one more thing. Hold on, Gafford over 13.5 PR. We're getting a little bit of a premium with the amount of, if he plays the 25 minutes, we're getting a pretty good look, some value there, some EV on Gafford. This is a lean for me, but I'm not playing it. I would just say that if you like it, like, I don't hate it. So lean is something I should be giving you guys a bit more so that you know when I like don't hate a bet, but I'm just not playing it for myself. But there's a good edge if he plays the 25 minutes. I just don't know for sure that that's what the projection is. Let me see. I don't know if I can get this because I have my Establish the Run account is Establish the Run. So I just want to show you real quick. Establish the Run, while it was started as an NFL thing, is so damn fire now for projections. So let me see about DFS projections. Yeah, so I don't have my account connected to this computer yet, and it won't let me log in on this one because I have it on too many other ones. So I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to bring up Establish the Run starting next show, but Establish the Run is going to be so perfect for y'all who don't know about projections. That is where you can find the best projections in the game, Establish the Run. So I'll get that going too. Smashing the Luka triple dub. All right, get it. I don't hate it. The last thing I'm gonna look at is Terrence Mann, and I need a quick break before I come back at 3:30 to keep working with y'all and get some more bets for the last two games here. All right. And maybe I'll get somebody to come on with me for that as well, so we can just look together at those last two. Maybe Modai, but I doubt it because he's probably on a freaking hike with his girlfriend right now. Shots fired at Modai. My bad. You know that's my boy. 8.5 points for T-Man. Let's see. T-Man, we already looked at him with and without Kawhi. It wasn't too much, right? I liked Harden's look, by the way. Free Sauce put that out there. If you get 19.5 on Harden, yeah, it's gone, right? It's all 20.5s now for James. 20.5 for James is still not a bad number. Like, our boy is shooting for real. 13, 14, 17 in the first game, and the 17 was without Kawhi, right? So I do think the shots go up in this series for James without that. What's his threes prop at now? 3.5 for plus money. You can't even get 2.5 anywhere. I mean, he's gonna be chucking that thing, right? Let's see. Without Kawhi on the season, without Kawhi, all right, it's not great. I mean, he hasn't had a great season in that sense. The points without Kawhi, 20.6. Yeah, you're not going to get an edge on James. I can tell you that right now. Not at -112, -108. Even without Kawhi, even if you project him, like right here, we got him at 37 minutes. Even if you put him at 40, it ain't going to be it for James. Like 19.5, maybe you get a little bit more of an edge. Let me see what that looks like. 1, 2. Now we got this at 19.5 points. Climbs over 54%, but he's still averaging 20.6 even in the games where he gets that. So 20 and 21 points. It's right on the cusp for me. I'm gonna pass on James. I get the look, but I'm gonna pass on it. Paul George is just 24.5. Like be gone, evil spirits, bro. I'm not touching that. I don't hate the Luka triple double. The last thing I said I was ending on was Terrence Mann, right? 8.5 points. I don't think I'm gonna find anything here, and be honest with you, but let's just do it for the sake of it. If we look at without Kawhi on the season for T-Man, what? He's played 15 games. My bad. Okay, 15 games without Kawhi, averaging 10 a game, over in 53%, averaging 24 minutes and taking 7.5 shots. Okay. In this series so far, without Kawhi, he's had Kawhi only missed the first game entirely. That's right. Let me take it without Kawhi. Head-to-head, right? So Kawhi comes back, his shit goes down. It's true. In the last two games, he's taken 3 and 7 field goal attempts. And the one without Kawhi, he took 8, and he hit 4 of them, which is we really need him to do. Did he hit a 3? He hit a 3 in that game, too. He hit 3 threes in that game. He was 3 for 3 from deep in that game. So that was a big part of why he had 13 points, right? If he goes 1 for 3, take away 6 points right there, he's at 7. So you really got to ask yourself, do you want Terrence Mann? Do you want to rely on Terrence Mann threes? Is really what you got to ask yourself. Let me pull him up on Props Madness real quick. I want to see where he's shooting from. So I got the Clippers game pulled up on Props Madness. I would check this out. The link is in the description, and it's a very, very helpful tool. Shout out Pips once more. Where you at, Terrence, man? I know I'm passing him, aren't I? There he is. Terrence Mann. Is it really a half a three at like terrible juice? Yeah. So you're not even going to get anything. You have to take him to make 2. And for him to make 2, I mean, this is something he does consistently. I think the 1 is probably a go. Let me take without Kawhi in here and see what happens. So if you take Kawhi out, he's not even a better 3-point shooter without Kawhi, to be honest with you. So it's really like, do you think he's going to make his threes? And I don't know if he is, because I don't think he's going to get that many shots. If he gets 8 shots, like he did in that game 1 in the 38.8 minutes that he played, I just don't know if you can rely on that many minutes for him. So I don't like it. And I do, once Norm got up to 15.5 PR, it's gone. Like, this was such a good bet at like 11.5, but it's gone. So yeah, I'm out. I'm out on that. Yeah, Mode, I don't work weekends. It's all good. But we will. I'm gonna come back. So just make sure everybody knows. Let me just put this up on stream, because I know some people like watch without the sound on, which makes no damn sense to me. But I'm gonna come back here at 6:30 p.m. EST. I might even come back a little early. I'll put 6 here, and I'll keep y'all updated. But coming back 6:30 p.m. Eastern today, going to be looking at Suns versus Mini, and also a bit more for that Milwaukee and Milwaukee versus Indy game. So I'll come back with a fresh set. I just need like a quick break. Been doing this for like what? Yeah, almost 3 hours, right? So this is a good stream, man. I appreciate y'all sticking around. A couple more quick reminders. Got the I'm gonna come back with cat rebounds. So for y'all that just jumped in, I got to take a quick break. So I'm gonna leave this and go check out the rest of this Knicks game, see my boys finish up here. And then, what's up, bro? Good to have you, Saints TV. I know some of y'all jump back in, but I'm going to take a quick hiatus, come back in about 3 hours or so, and start looking a bit more at the last 2 games of the night. Everything that I got is scrolling on the bottom line here, so check that out. I'm going to stop this video so that then on YouTube, if you want to see the bets we played right here, you can jump into that. There'll be a comment that's pinned with all those bets. All right. We did look at Pat Bev. I'm going to come back and look at him some more at 3 p.m. So jump back in the stream then. Till I do see y'all then, jump in that Discord, link in the description of the video. Props.cash, got that LYB 24 code that's on the bottom line as well, so that you know that you can get a few bucks off of your first month. Try it out, see if you like it. That's what I'm using every time here in the live streams as like my home base. So hopefully that gets for y'all. Good luck with any bets you might have here in these next couple games, clips as well. And then we're gonna come back. We're going to come back here at 3 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern, and get the rest of this going for y'all. All right. Happy betting in these next couple games. Go New York. Go New York. Go. Talk to you all in a little bit.